vice versa.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. We're here, Omega Strikers, specifically Seraphim Specialized Training number 9, back for some really sick games of Omega Strikers. I hope you're very excited as I am, because my name is Frying Pan Man, and I am happy to introduce my co-commentator, Dendar. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing good, but not as good as these players are, as they've made it this far into the bracket, and so now they're looking to make their own breakthrough. You are a bit more familiar with these players than I am, so hoping you can give us a little insight on some of these players.
Oh, I'm gonna give you some insight, all right. So moving in here, we're loading up soon to winners final with the teams Gex and Seraphim Vermilion. Gex I'm not as familiar with, but I've seen some plays from Spooked Altar. I'm excited, and I'm hoping they win, because Seraphim Vermilion, I hope they lose. You know, I'm a Seraphim. I'm in Seraphim, but, like, Mexi Casual's got to lose. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to clown on Mexi this game. As my dear friend, Mexi's got to go down. So, Gex, take them home, all right? Take them out. Nah, good luck to both teams. I'm excited to see what we've got going on. Vermilion's very strong, so they've got a lot ahead of them, but I think we'll be hopefully seeing a very even game loading into Oni Village, a very classic competitive map.
Yep. Now, you mentioned Seraphim Vermilion. Is this a similar situation to how Chikara has multiple teams and the different Seraphim teams are known? Or is this more so that this is the Seraphim team and these players are the ones that you recognize as the sort of the torchbearers for this organization?
I would say, for the most part, Vermilion's definitely one of the more recognized teams. They've put up some pretty big results in the past. They've played in some major tournaments, although not as much recently. I also think, just in general, they're some of the more stronger players in Seraphim making it out there. So it's been a while since I've seen them play. I'm very interested to see what they're performing here. Ultimately, we've got some pretty conventional comps going in, though. Are seeing now on both sides, classic midfield pick for Oni Village. But going into the actual point here, early on, barrier going down. Mexi, however, is going to have to put up some defense against Spooked Altar, but Sakine is coming in to assist. The now Doritos coming off from both sides, almost leading to the barrier going down, but not quite. Mexi gets a bit lucky there with the angle, the strike shot, using the abilities to get past. Able to do so, but Sakine and Mexi are a little bit on the ropes. They're able to keep the core out for much longer. Gex getting a lot more advantages for those offensive pushes. Dave having some pretty easy clears to get out here, and that means Mexi's going to have to push against this Aimi ult, but able to do so really well, getting Sakine and Cloak, getting a really great first barrier, almost second, but Dave working really well to defend here, even leading, however, not enough, because Cloak is able to grab a second barrier here. Cloak low on health, but not on initiative. While I'm talking, grabbing a really clean goal here, getting Seraphim Vermilion the first point.
You know, there's also an interesting dynamic in this match where when you have this ranged goalie like Aimi, you want to use your abilities to disrupt the core and the player with it, and that's how you get through these sort of brawler situations. But with Unstoppable on the table, he can't really just go through and deny them that ability to get in, because they have a basically get out of jail free card one time, and they almost had a get out of jail free card to get that barrier for free, but unfortunately they save it and take one of their own in the process. That's a little awkward. That new Asher barrier coming out, really helping on the defense, allowing Mexi Casual to almost save that barrier, but unfortunately both go down. Spooked Altar now in a 1v1 against the goalie. Mongola of the Rain walking up. Nobody really in possession of the core. We're all kind of just waiting to see who makes the first move. Pressure's on the barrier now for the blue team as Zentaro goes in, but unfortunately these speed lanes makes it really easy to send it back to the other side and create an opportunity. That Asher wall really just showing how powerful it is, where you can't even dash punch through that thing. You got to find a different way to approach. And 1v1 with a core flip, you might have that opportunity, but once that goes away, who knows if they'll be able to get it down.
That's completely true there. Speaking of core flip, Spooked Altar is going to be looking to make a play here with their own core flip, using that great patience and the Julie dash punch near the end there to really force it through. I completely agree with what you mentioned earlier, though. The Unstoppable is going to mean that the forwards are just going to get a lot more chances to get in. And we didn't even mention the other awakening available, that being Siege Machine, giving Now and Aimi a lot of chances here to make some big plays, especially on this open map like Oni Village. But not going to be able to do much against that Cloak strike there. Coming in really well, Cloak's going to get the first barrier. Both sides have one barrier down, but the defense is working really well so far. Mexi able to almost get it out, but gonna have to spend a flip in the process. Not quite hitting the corner though. Cloak finding an opportunity to move it away, but is going to whiff it slightly. Sakin's moving up to test some abilities here, able to do so pretty well, but Spooked Altar is going to get the pass, and additionally, with the assistance from Dave, meaning the core is going to stay up. But Cloak's now getting their own chance. Gonna unfortunately lose flip, but great use of the Zen primary to keep the core in play. That's gonna give Sakin a really good chance here to move the core in, opening Gex's goal, hoping Sakin and Cloak can try and move it through, but not going to get a chance as Spooked Altar using that Julie Dash Punch to move it in. Barriers are both down, goals are open, Sakin's taking damage from this Aimi ult. The core is in suspension. It could be anybody's point here.
Yep, and this is not by any means a slight to Spooked Altar, but Juliet on this map has the little bit of an issue with the core speed sometimes. It is this big open map, and the speed lanes really make it easy to send the core different places. And so when you're this kind of slow, low mobility character where, yeah, you can play Border Patrol on those speed lanes, but when the ball just can't get to you, and when it does, you have to deal with this Asher Wall. It can be really awkward to try to get that ball in. But no awkwardness here as the red team scores. Makes a casual from the net, sending it down that speed lane we were just talking about and into the goal.
The speed lane's a big thing on Oni Village. Getting the speed on the core and on yourself means, especially once you get to overtime, some really big plays can be made. Mexi's been doing great work though, especially with the strike shot. I know he's been using it a lot more lately, and you can see why. Keeping that defense and offense up, allowing the ball to the core to get to teammates much more easily. Really good work, and we can see that as Cloak picks up a barrier, leaving both goals with one barrier, one lock left. Mexi getting really close there, almost saving it, but not quite. And with Spooked Altar and the Now having flip, that means the core is going in. Unfortunately, can't do much defending if you're dead. And moving into this next set here, this point, Bongo is also with a flip, meaning Seraphim gonna have to put in a lot of work coming up soon.
Yeah, and with that flip, you don't really want to take the first barrier with it, especially on a very long, drawn-out map like this. I love this core maintaining by the blue team. They recognize, look, we don't exactly have an avenue to get it in, so we'll just keep it to ourselves, much like our business. And right now we see this core flip not coming out, playing very conservatively, able to keep that barrier even with minimal issues. And now we see Spooked Altar with another opportunity. The special not working out. A lot of abilities used here to stop this play, even with though almost none were used to create it. And now we see both barriers on each team's top side going down. And so now you got to figure with two blue core flips on the red team, you really got to ask who's the blue team in this situation and whether or not they can do anything with it. With this good core possession maintained by the blue team, even in the face of two core flips. But just as I say that, the barrier goes down to one.
Yeah, Cloak, great use of flip there to keep it up. Spooked Altar, though, gonna get a chance to move in, but Mexi, really early clear, is gonna stop that Julie Dash Punch. Great dribbling by Cloak is gonna bait out that Aimi primary. On top of the ability usages, sometimes it feels like Zentaro just has no cooldowns, and you see it in play there. Just the abilities used to force that core through, not a lot you can do about that.
You know, we were talking about this unstoppable dynamic a few seconds ago, and when you think about characters like Estelle, where they want to get the ball to the goalie and then hit them with a primary, or maybe blink on them to disrupt them, with Zentaro's dash, that isn't really that heavy-hitting move, but it functions almost similarly to that Estelle beam, where you say, okay, I want to clear up, but he keeps you from having that opportunity, and he doesn't have to hit you with it, he just has to hit the core. And I think we saw 2 goals that round go through in that manner. But right now we see Aerials coming out for the Aimi, team player coming out for the red team, and I believe a Monumentalist going to Now. No, a Fight or Flight. Oh, but Monumentalist going to the blue teams now, my apologies. As we see them now with Siege Machine and Monumentalist, those mines are going to be carrying this offense sometimes. But right now we see the Dorito carry it instead. Good use of that space denial, and now we use that ult to keep defense and offense going.
Yeah, Vermilion's gonna have to be careful moving in here. Now is a very classic best in slot pick. For the Monumentalist is a very classic best in slot pick for Now for a reason. And you really like having the wide ability usage on Oni where you can make the most of it. All in all, though, Vermilion's putting up a pretty good fight, picking up one barrier, but gonna have to try to go for two. Really difficult with great support from Vongo, meaning Cloak is not able to get the core very easily. Mexi gonna have to clear a lot using that Asher hunt, the Asher dash, but it's going off really well. Spooked Altar, however, again, showing off the patience with the flip. We saw it earlier in the first set, but it's coming out again here. Missing that strike shot means that Vermilion is gonna lose the point.
Yeah, and you can sort of see the difference in XP sort of being representative of how difficult it is for these melee characters to really put in work on this map with how big it is and how easy it is to get the core away from them. Spooked Altar not shying away, though, getting an early barrier, but I believe that was actually Mixa Casual who took that one for the blue team. You know, sometimes you have to wonder if the nerves are getting to them, especially in these big, long, drawn-out sets where you have a lot of time to think, and while that might make you think, okay, well, you have time to relax and reset when things are going for so long, you really have to consider whether or not you can survive those long drawn-out sets. But here we see the special coming out to deny the core flip, but it gets straight past Spooked Altar, as now we see Vongola go back to help with that defense with the now special, and then come right back to help with the offense. This character really good at both denying space with those mines and helping out both offense and defense with minimal usage.
One thing we're going to have to be careful in here, though, Psykeen getting that health back, but also low on evades might possibly lead to a death later on. It's still, though, Gex doing really great work to keep up the offensive pressure here, especially with the support from Dave, keeping the core in play, but Cloak and Psykeen getting almost a chance to keep the core out there, get that hit. Oh, team player, great hits there with the red core to almost bring it in, but great reactions from Dave means that's not going to go through. Mexi doing all great work on defense as well to keep the core away. Spooked Altar not getting a setup into Dash Punch there, but now Psykeen and Cloak are trying to run their own setups with the ult and the Dorito. Not going to work out, though. Still, Cloak with the flip. Only one with flip in this game currently means that Gex is going to have to be careful, but doesn't matter if the core ends up getting over, instead giving Dave the opportunity to make the offensive play. Moving it in, not much you can do about that, and Gex changing the tide of the momentum, moving them into a 2-0 in the set.
Yeah, and you know, you see really just see the power of eject button there. When you have this melee goalie like Asher, those strike shots have been on point, denying Spooked Altar the opportunity. But even when they get in, sometimes, you know, that primary, the barrier beam, can make it really difficult to make anything happen. However, you see Dave, on the other hand, using eject button, saying, you know what, I'm going to make space for my team by just being another body on offense and defense. And I think that's working out really well with the now specials to keep things going. And speaking of now, we see her keep it on the side of Spooked Altar. Dave, a good block to keep that goal from going in. Another good save. And we see how they can capitalize on the Spooked Altar almost dying, but with a core flip coming up, the core flip comes out. And we'll see if it's used to maintain possession. A lot of abilities used to hold in a flip of their own. So now we have to wonder how they're going to get this barrier. And he takes it just like that, no problems whatsoever, and gets a goal at the same time.
Hard to transition from that. So many fast plays there. Mexi did a really good job countering the flip earlier, saw the patience finally, but once it was set up back in Spooked Altar's range, it was just really hard to contest those really nice dash punch hits into the barrier. And then later, hitting it into the goal there, really great timing with the goal opening. But moving into Awakenings here, we're going to be seeing Dave get that Timeless Creator, a lot more influence on the field with the Imi ult, but also, more importantly, keeping it away from Psykeen, who would otherwise be able to contest the previous Monu pick that Vongo got with Timeless Creator. Still, though, some really big picks. Mexi making sure to take Spark of Leadership so that Spooked Altar or anyone else does not have a chance to really lead in with some scaling here. All in all, characters getting some pretty big picks, and we're going to have to see how that plays in. So far, though, the core still in a bit of a stalemate. Great work by Mexi to keep it away from Spooked Altar. Gonna have to try and keep moving it in, though. Cloak's making an opportunity, but not quite enough. Spooked Altar doing great work to try and bait out Mexi's abilities, but that's eventually going to lead to a barrier. Psykeen, though, helping with the support there, going to lead to Vongo's Dorito not picking up a barrier, but going to have to keep it going. The core is in a bit of a stalemate. Psykeen trying to make a play, but it isn't going to work out. But what is going to work out is Dave being taken out of the game for a bit. The main defensive line means Vermilion has a pretty big push here. Spooked Altar not getting any chances to do any offensive plays while the power play is active. The power play is gone, though, now. And one barrier, not two, being taken out. Great use of the Imi ult is going to lead the core back into a bit of a stalemate. We're going to have to see what happens from here.
And a big point in that draft, even though it's already passed by now, you have to consider that with Spooked Altar, that Knife's Edge was available, and they chose to take the Spark, even with the Spark of Leadership gone. There's a lot of wars in this pocket, and just like that, they're having a war on the goalie line. But going back to the wars in the pocket against that Asher, when you don't have to worry about that strike shot, you just have to get it through. You think maybe that extra speed and power to catch up to the play would be good, but they say, you know what, we have time. I have time to get my sparks. Even though they have Spark of Leadership, I'm not worried about them contesting me, because if they take sparks, it leaves other options for my teammates. And just like that, they use options to get open that barrier. And now we don't see another one come out. We don't see the flip come out for possession, but we do see that Chevron from now come out to keep the pressure up. They do get a barrier, but unfortunately they have to use a flip on the defense to keep it on their own. And now the red team going on their offense, but it just slips right past them. But with that Asher defense, it's really hard to convert sometimes, even when you have that big open net. She herself is a big open force, ready to crack open the skull of anyone who tries to oppose her.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Still, though, Vermilion doing some great work here to keep the court in play, giving Cloak some of those big offensive opportunities where we saw a barrier being taken out previously. But we're going to have to do it again in order to get this point to be a bit more fair. Cloak's getting a big chance here, though, with the flip. Means he's going to go through. Psykeen there to intercept that back hit. Dave gonna have to spend the flip in order to avoid it, but Psykeen in just the right position at the right time to keep it in play. The glitch pop almost landing, but not quite, and that's going to give Cloak the opportunity to pass around, getting the second point. We saw a 2-0 previously come in the favor of Gex in the last set, but now Vermilion is putting it in the other direction, getting a 2-0 by themselves.
And one thing I'm noticing with this blue team's lineup is when they go to do kickoff, they let the Julie go into the middle and the goalie stay bot side on the speed lane. So they're letting their two ranged players sort of deal with that kickoff because they recognize, look, Juliet is a melee character, and against some of these things like Now Mine and like Strike Shot, you really just can't win that kickoff. But at the same time, that's creating the situation where Juliet doesn't have that speed boost to get where they need to go, so it makes the pressure a little bit more difficult. I don't know if that's maybe just dealing with the mismatch of melee versus not melee, or whether or not that's a strategy that they just commonly go with.
I understand what you mean. Going back to that last play, though, unfortunate series of events, they wanted to kill Cloak there, but ended up creating an opening, allowing Psykeen to get that third goal, meaning we're moving into a 2-1 here in favor of Seraphim. Going to drafts, though, explosive entrance going to be taken away, means Cloak Zen not going to get as big of an opportunity with Dash, which he definitely would have wanted. We'll also be seeing Sparks get taken away here, in this case by Dave. Otherwise, Mexi would be able to take it with Spark of Leadership and still be able to deny Spooked Altar. But Spooked Altar is going to be picking up some great healthness and speed with Stagger Swagger, so they are not too sad about that. Moving into the point here, though, Spooked Altar getting a great opportunity thanks to Dave's Ivy ult to move that core in. Cloak going to be whiffing that secondary, but getting a great setup into that ult along with the support of Psykeen means that barriers are going down on both sides. Goals are open. Spooked Altar, Vongo trying to make big plays here. Dave moving in on their own, but Psykeen in the right position to help Mexi out. Cloak single-handedly moving in on the other hand and grabbing that amazing 1v1 opportunity to score the core in and giving the first point to Seraphim Vermilion.
Mexi Casual being this stalwart wall against this offense of the eject button. A little bit of a misposition on that glitch pop could have created a situation, but they're positioning this core into the top barrier, getting it immediately. Cloco, recognizing that Dave can't cover both, takes one and then takes two with a flip available. We might see this flip come out, does not come out, trusting Psykeen to get them the ball one more time, and just like that, a force 50-50, the EI dash, creating pressure, and then another strike sending it to the opposite side.
It's powerful. That dash, once you set it up with the flip, means that you can set up either a situation where you kill the goalie, or like we saw in that case, you can set up the strike ward, meaning Cloak just gets so many chances to score there, and it really panned out. Moving in, though, Cloak going to be assisted by the Mexi Casual Asher ult to get that barrier. Mexi getting a really nice clear, meaning Spooked Altar not able to pick up the barrier. Great dribbling there with the Zen primary means that Cloak is going to work with Psykeen to pick up both barriers. Vermilion really on the uptake now, looking to make it a game point. But Alter has something to say about that. Great use of the flip to grab one barrier. Mexi and Sykeen still have really great defensive opportunities. Using the flip there is going to get the core to Cloak. Gonna unfortunately lose it though due to Dave's primary. And Dave working wonders here with the defense, finding those up and down clears to get it all around. But against Zen movement, it's still difficult to really contest. Sykeen spending the flip there to get it through. Dave clearing it, but unfortunately, clearing it forward means that Cloak is in the perfect position to intercept, getting that strike. Not much you can do there, and Seraphim Vermilion is taking the game with a 3-1.
Honestly, although it was a 3-1, I do feel like that match, there were a lot of really great moments for both sides. You know, it didn't feel like it was one side particularly dominating. The biggest thing that I noticed was Sykeen, when Mexicasual would go down to make an offensive play, would always be there to back up and help on the defense, and that was really working wonders for them. Spooked Alter not really getting as many opportunities as I think they would have liked with that strike shot coming in, and with Asher's just massive ability to just shove the core through a player. You know, you gotta wonder, do you think that that was maybe just a pick choice on that map that just didn't happen to pan out? Or do you feel like maybe that isn't something they felt particularly comfortable on?
Yeah, Oni Village is just a map where fundamentals sort of reign, because the map is so open that you end up getting put into a lot of those stalemate situations. And both teams made some really great plays to try and push through it, but in the end, Vermilion just found their footing, especially after the first two sets. They found those great ways to get the core to Sykeen and Cloco, keep up the pressure, and Mexi just started finding their footing on defense. I got to give it up to him. As much as I don't want to, you know, my friend Mexi, he made it work, put it up. Great use of the strike shot there as well to pressure. Although both teams were doing great, once Bongo and Spook started running some plays, they were really running it, and Dave was just able to support a lot more with those IME abilities. But in the end, Vermilion just found a way through, and hats off to them for doing it. But again, hats off to both teams for running it. Gex is going to be looking to make the run back, possibly to fight Seraphim Vermilion again later, who is now set up in grand finals. So possibly revenge coming up, but we'll have yet to see if that is the case.
You know, and I don't know how often these teams get to where they are. I've not been a particular follower of the Seraphim series, but after watching those games, I might have to be, because I really did enjoy watching those two teams battle it out. And I believe that was what I want to say our losers semifinals, or where was that in the bracket?
That was our winners final.
That was winners finals. Okay, my apologies. So yeah, if that's winners finals, I can't wait to see what's going on in grands. But before that, we have to see it get battled out in the loser side, as two teams have to decide, you know, they really don't want to be out just like that. So we got to give them a little bit time to get set up, and maybe a few minutes before they get ready. But when they're ready, I'm very much so looking forward to seeing how it pans out.
Yeah, looking at the bracket here, Seraphim Vermilion set up in grand finals due to that great win there. Gex not far behind, now set up in losers finals, but is going to have to wait quite a few matches. Currently, we have some pretty powerful team names, as Just That One Bagel 59 and Mighty Magitech are fighting it out currently, but the winner of that game is going to be streamed against Don't Ban Octi or Else. Again, very powerful set of match names, or for team names, and we've seen some of the power in that previously with other tournaments. But yeah, all in all, some really great games there. But we have a bit of time to kill because we're still waiting for them to play. So, I guess, what are your thoughts moving forward, just based off those powerful team names that we heard so far?
Well, I mean, those are definitely some interesting team names, but hopefully the players are just as interesting as their names, because there's a lot of times where I sort of see plays and I think, you know, if I was in that situation, would I have done the same thing? But when you're in these tournament situations, you know, there's a lot of pressure on you, even if you feel like there isn't. You know, you get stressed out after so many games getting to the point where these players are at now. You know, you begin to wonder, are they fatigued? Are they worried about, are they making the right plays? Are they making the right calls? Does their team have a shot caller to make those calls in the first place, or are they just going with the flow? And honestly, if that Seraphim Vermilion team was just going with the flow, they're doing an excellent job. But honestly, no discredit to the team they played against. I believe you said their name was Gex, as they also had great plays, and I'm hoping to see more great plays from the teams that come. But for now, we just have to wait on them and wait for another opportunity to cast their game.
Knowing Vermilion personally, they're probably doing a bit of both. They were definitely going to be calling some things, but they're also just going with the flow, and they can get away with that. They're all Cloak, Psykeen, and Mexi are all very experienced players that know how to go with the flow, so they can definitely make it work. But yeah, I guess we still got time. The update still came out recently. It's still a bit fresh in my mind with some of the changes. What did you think of the update?
Like the most recent patch to this game.
Yes.
So as a rune player, being able to spark the core again feels pretty nice. I do think so I've heard a lot of very polarized opinions on the unstoppable change, as we just saw in that previous match, where against some characters like, say, Luna, Luna's kind of known as being that you have to pay your evade taxes, and if you don't, you're getting hit with this nuke. And so when suddenly every 8 seconds you can kind of say, I don't feel like it. Or when you think, okay, well, I'm standing at the ledge, this is a little dangerous in case of a dash rocket, and all of a sudden one of those two things just get eaten, you kind of think to yourself, maybe this character isn't so scary anymore. Or situations where you could be in the threat range of a Juliet dash punch, classic combo, but when suddenly that dash or that punch isn't connecting to you, you kind of think, is this really the awakening that's saving me, or is it maybe just a positioning thing? But it just gives you so much opportunity to play a bit more greedy, which I think is great, because I love playing greedy. I love playing with an evade bar that's at 0, and just being able to be somewhere and feel like your impact is always there, even when maybe your health bar isn't. I think that's great. Siege Machine, though, one that I've heard is pretty powerful. I haven't personally got to test it a whole lot, but one I have gotten to test is that Spark of Leadership, where Asai and I were calling it the Spark of Victory, because sometimes it really does feel like you get 1, 2, 3 sparks in itself being a spark. Sometimes it feels like your entire team is just overflowing with power. Everybody's going Super Saiyan just because you took 1 or 2 picks in the draft that maybe nobody else really wanted, or they didn't want to deny because they finally got their first pick. And let's say it's a now that's wanting to take Monu. They have to battle, do I take the Singularity, or do I deny them a single spark that does almost nothing for me?
Someone, I forget, because you mentioned Spark of Victory, so I forget who said it exactly, but someone called it Spark of Winning to me, which I think is hilarious, but it's also fairly true. It's just a pretty powerful thing all around. I was at least somewhat happy to see it because I've done some coaching with Evil Drew Danger before the update came out, and he really put me on like spark scaling for goalies and so on. But up to that point, I'd get called out quite a bit because the people would be like, well, why are you spark scaling? It's not that good. But now with Spark of Victory in the game, it's a lot more powerful, and everyone around me, I think Cloak even mentioned, was like, I hate that now you're actually validated for going into sparks. But I was thinking about what you said about Unstoppable, though. I personally like the rework because the previous version of Unstoppable was just like way too simple and way too, like, I guess, useful on its own, because it was like, what, 90% knockback resistance, 10% damage reduction, I believe, while you're unstaggered.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, part of me thinks that if they still kept Unstoppable the way it was, that the other way to change it would be to make it like, once you are staggered, you just like melt like a hot knife through butter. So you're really strong otherwise, but it also just makes you such a big target because once you finally get staggered, you just go away. But that's neither here nor there. I do like the new Unstoppable, though, at the very least, just because there is counterplay to it. I think it's difficult to contest, especially if you're like solo queuing and you don't have comms, because if you really want to hit someone with Unstoppable, you have to end up using multiple abilities just to take away the shield and then hit them with the higher damage abilities. But if you can coordinate with your team, you can have the players that have the less committal abilities to just throw them on and waste the Unstoppable shield, and then have everyone else dive in after that and really deal that damage. So I think if you coordinate around it, there's still some good counterplay to Unstoppable, but without that, it can still be effective. So at the very least, I do like the Awakening.
So if you're familiar with card games, there's a term we use called floodgates, which represent like, let's say, a card that creates a situation where your opponent is just not allowed to do a thing. It might be, it affects you both, something along those lines. In current Unstoppable, or old Unstoppable felt much like a floodgate, where just certain things like on Imi's app, you just took Unstoppable, you just looked at the Rasmus and said, "That's nice, you're over there. I'm going to ignore you now." Whereas now, I think another thing that isn't really so much mentioned is with this new Unstoppable, I think it puts a lot of added value onto Strike Shot, as that Strike Shot, I believe, can take down that shield. You know, normally you wouldn't really want to waste your Strike Shot on a player, but if you're in a situation like that last game where both the forwards are kind of playing on the other team's half and you're just the goalie sitting there and you're thinking to yourself, there's a lot of downtime. I'm not really having to do a whole lot on this offense. I'm just here to catch a stray ball if it comes my way. Maybe I can strike shot this guy while he's low and give my team an opportunity to take them out without them having to waste anything. Especially when you have more like combo based characters. Like if you think like let's say an Imi dash with a glitch pop, right? If one of those two things isn't enough with that barrier, but you as the goalie can say, I'm going to waste my strike to give you a chance to kill this guy, I think that's a great opportunity for your team.
It's even more powerful now because previously you could also do something similar with Strike Shot, where if someone was already low or staggered, you could use Strike Shot to cut off the stagger regen early, since all hits at the time would negate a regen for like another 2.5 seconds or whatever. But ever since they made the changes with the update that we're talking about to make light hits not have as big of a recovery on the regen, that means you can't use Strike Shot as much for that. It's not as useful for there. So now that it's instead more useful to break that unstoppable barrier, that just like ends up making that option a lot more effective, since you can't do that what you could do previously with it. But all in all, I've at least enjoyed the update so far. It's introduced some very interesting things, but ultimately has given some needed changes, I feel like.
Yeah, you know, and I think one thing that it does get talked about, but it doesn't get as much appreciation as I feel it should, is the art team for Omega Strikers with these new skins. You know, the Cop Dubu skin, the MVP screen, you know, that is my sleep paralysis demon in sometimes. You know, but the Octavia windscreen is great. The Asher windscreen feels almost like something out of Genshin Impact. You know, it feels very Wuja, like manhwa-esque. But fortunately, I believe we have both teams here now, as I see Dr. Bebop, a name that I actually just casted recently, and that guy is a demon in the goalie position, because it feels like nothing can get past him, but we'll have to see if another familiar name, Dragonclawed, can oppose them on that goalie versus goalie situation where it kind of comes down to who breaks first. Sovereign Stank, another name I recognize. There's, of course, one name that standing out here for the blue team. I don't know if you'd like to introduce them for me, but I'm of course not talking about Eternal Arctic. I believe everybody knows them at this point.
A very powerful name in quote-unquote big anime milkies. I'm not familiar with their playstyle, but I guess I hope that they really show off what they could do in this match. With this team being here, that means it turns out that Mighty Magitech won the previous game. So Dr. Bebop and Anime Milkies are on the Tompan Octi or Al's team, but we got Mighty Magitech coming in here with Dragonclawed, Sovereign, and Tiny Kaya. Sovereign I'm familiar with. I've played with them a few times in ranked. Generally strong forward player, can really make some plays happen. Dragonclawed, fairly well-known goalie as well, working it in their way. So a lot of big names on both sides. I'm very curious to see how they clash against each other.
And you know, I do not believe we know what the map is going to be yet. It's currently hovered over Taiko Temple. I'm not sure if that is the final pick for this situation, but with everybody readied up, we will find out very soon, as we are just waiting for this game to start, and it seems that it's about to pop off right now.
Yeah, we're going to some Taiko Temple, a fun map. I won't lie, when I first saw the map layout initially, I thought I wasn't gonna like it just because Clarion Corp had really put a bad taste in my mouth for bouncers. But I won't lie, I've been a fan of Taiko Temple. I think there are still quite a lot of bouncers, but you can play more consistently around them in comparison to the Clarion Corp map, which has them. And I found some interesting things you can do with them, like doing the weird angles off the middle bouncer is always fun. So all in all, yeah, I'm a fan of Taiko Temple.
Yeah, you know, in the real world, we say cash is king, but on this map, creations are king. as we see several creation characters already being picked up for the blue team here, at least the side that we can see. We'll have to see what bans come out. We see Octavia get banned out. Bit of a surprise. I don't particularly love her on this map because it is a very closed off map. You often have times where everybody's kind of bundled together, a lot of damage coming out. Octavia being that squishy character, I don't know if that's a particularly scary pick on this map, but we can't see the starting awakening, so that may not be the case. We see very similar teams, however, with the Dubu and the Era on both sides. You know, those Maelstroms locking down the lane, the Tofu keeping it out. But here we see Asher versus X as the two picks. Personally, I find Asher to be a bit of a stronger pick on this map. We'll have to see if Sovereign Stank can really change my opinion on that with these strikes.
It does make sense. Sovereign Stank does play Asher usually, but I guess they're going for a bit more of a brawler here to really try and stack that damage on. And like you mentioned, you do tend to sometimes bunch up a lot on between the middle bouncer and the walls on this map. I was about to say Sovereign almost goofed that one, but does get the second hit as Dr. Bebop is not there to contest it, meaning both barriers are going down really quickly. Dragonclaw, however, gonna have to make some big defense here, not able to do so against the powerful big anime Milkies, and Dr. Bebop not in position to deal with all these passes, although I think part of that is because Eternal Arctic might be AFK? Never mind.
Yeah,
we're waiting.
Oh, go ahead. We saw that flag come up because it might have been a technical difficulty, and now we see, yep, there is a little bit of that stall. Oh, we almost saw a player go for that orb, a little cheeky little bite treat waiting for the game to happen. But I don't know what the exact situation is there, but giving up a point early could be a little bit difficult for that team. But honestly, after watching Mr. Milker himself and Dr. Bebop in previous tournament, you know, I have no doubt that they can turn around basically any situation they find themselves in. And honestly, they're also just fantastic people. You know, I got a chance to talk with them after the tournament, and they're really just very wholesome people, really great to talk to.
Also, I don't know why I didn't put it together earlier, but you mentioned earlier that the Octavia ban was a bit weird. To be fair, the team's name is Don't Ban Octi or Else, so I guess Mighty Magitech really wanted to test what that or else really meant. Although we'll also have to wait to see what it meant, as we are still waiting on technical difficulties to be resolved.
Yeah, and this... the Dream Era, I believe, being the one in question, right?
I believe so. I hadn't even put that together. It's been a minute since I've seen that.
That is a little bit awkward because, you know, I haven't seen too much of this skin get played, and it's a shame because it really is a great skin, but much like the issues with the Summer X, you know, the Swimsuit X, you know, I can understand that there are times where the graphics or something along those lines could cause issues. A little bit unfortunate. If they're just asking for a remake, that's great, because I'd love to see this gameplay, and I hate to see a situation, oh, but it looks like they're just going into it. They don't even care about the skin. They just say, you know what, we're going in, a barrier gets taken. And when you have this overtime on this map, everything is moving so fast. The core, the players, everything. So now you got to see how they can get this through. The X not being able to, Asher also not being able to, flips come out, and we see just how powerful these defensive titans are.
Yeah, continuing on though, speaking of flips, Sovereign gonna get a flip there, taking a barrier, but Dr. Bebop, really well placed wall, not only able to cover that angle, but also get the barrier, but on top of that, Eternal Arctic, great use of the Maelstrom, gonna put Dragonclaw in a bit of a position where they are currently dead, which is not great if you don't know on defense. On top of that though, a lot of really big red cores here. We didn't even bring up Awakenings, but we're seeing Spark of Strength. They're doing their famous move, but we see Spark of Strength here, means that once we get to overtime, red cores are going to be a much bigger problem, and you can see why they played it out here despite the banned skin. We're moving into a 1-1 here, into the third point.
Yeah, and you know, with this with the situation with the Spark, it really doubles down the question of why the Octavia was banned, but right now it doesn't seem to matter as they're playing their hearts out, even with this Maelstrom coming out, not able to get the core out. But a triple offense coming on this bot side, the red side, a little out of position to stop this. Some good defense by Dragonclaw to hold it down till they get there to help out. Sovereign almost getting it out too, but they're looking almost for a kill on this Eternal Arctic. We'll see if they can get this core out. Sovereign just a little too far forward to get this core out. But we see the Shrink come in on the blue team's forward, big anime Milkies. And we see the X almost get it in, but this Dubu roll really just causing an oppressive force, making it impossible to get this through. Dr. Bebop challenging that enhanced strike and saying, you know what, you strike better than me, but I'm going to strike better than you. And now we see this core go up, doesn't come back down, It's stuck in this pocket, and Dr. Bebop, strange misplay, not really known for making that type of a misplay, as they lose that barrier, but Dragon Claw almost own goaling with that middle drum. We see a good pass come in, almost an opportunity. This path splitter not really creating everything that we need it to. A bounce off of the bottom drum. Big Enemy Milk is almost in position, but not able to. This Tofu coming out, closing off this lane. The drum creating a lot of awkward bounces for them to play around. Now we have to see how they're going to get this through, but Sovereign says, I'm the one getting it through. It doesn't matter how good of a goalie you are, I'm just going to punch it in.
Yeah, unfortunately, without having some sort of awakening like Castellast to extend the stun from the Dubu roll, it's really difficult to shoot the core through them, and we can see that there, especially with the increase in size of Sovereign Sting. But speaking of all that, Dragon Claw going to get a nice kill there with the Dubu wall. Eternal Arctic trying to make a play on their own, but it is going to go back. Dr. Bebop, though, doing some great defenses there, not even losing a barrier yet, and giving time for Big Anime Milkies to come back out on the field. The power play is over, but unfortunate misplay there. The Dubu roll gonna miss there, meaning barrier 1's gonna be taken down. Dragon Claw moving in good position to keep the core up. Sovereign Stank in a bit of a situation where they are fighting, but they are being fought against a lot of people here at low health. It depends on who's going to go down here, where the play is going to make its way through. Sovereign Stank, however, making their own play, going to spend the flip, does not want to lose it. That is going to lead to a barrier going down, but Anime Milkies also working really good magic here with the Asher ult, able to grab the barrier as well. Both goals are open, using that Maelstrom. Eternal Arctic going to move it through, uses the flip to try and continue this trend, but it's not going to work out very well. Dr. Bebop, unfortunately, missing that flip, going to lead to a few unfortunate bounces, but the great use of the Era primary by Tiny there, gonna work really good there to get that goal.
You know, you gotta begin to wonder whether or not that one game that they lost because they had that technical timeout that they were trying to call mattered in this situation. This could have been maybe a 1-2 or even a 2-2, but here we're in this draft. We see Spark of Leadership getting picked up. The Castellast on the red team's Era, you know, they're trading that potential scaling for immediate power. We see the Unstoppable come out from Dubu saying, okay, I have this X on top of me. I need this extra defense. Rapid Fire coming up for the red team's Dubu Dragon Claw. They say, okay, well, I'm going to close down this lane more because we're taking these immediate power spikes and things like Castellast. So we got to wonder whether or not that scaling is going to come into play later or if they're going to be able to just shut it out quickly.
Additionally, we talked previously about Unstoppable. Dr. Bebop's picked that up, not wanting to deal with as much attacks here from Sovereign. We're already seeing that Oki come out, but unfortunately, it isn't going to stop the fact that both barriers are now open. Dr. Bebop going to have to put the defense into overtime, although Eternal Arctic and Big Anime making some great offensive plays to keep the core out there. Dragonclaw, though, using up those Dubu abilities, it is going to give Big Anime a great chance here to use that Asher ult, move the core in there. Still, though, the core is now in a bit of a suspension there. Gonna throw it up, but with Big Anime not having a lot of health, a lot less chances to make that big offensive play. Eternal Archer trying to move it through, but not gonna get it. Sovereign gonna get a great pass over to Tiny, who's in perfect position. Unfortunately, Dr. Bebop is gonna Dubu roll forward. A very risky but necessary play, but not there, as it is gonna lead to the first point going to Mighty Magitech.
You know, you mentioned that Dubu roll. I have seen a couple coaching sessions for Dubu players. I think one might have actually been a Dragon Claw session with Vaughn from some time ago. And, you know, that Dubu roll really acting almost as a core flip where, you know, you can't really just run at them, but he just takes the words right out of my mouth as he just runs at Sovereign. They're getting the stun, but losing the barrier. You know, when you have that melee prowess to just say, I'm going to stun you and take control of this core, much like Milky's takes control of that barrier, getting it in, Dragon Claw almost dying to that barrier beam. We have to create this situation where now we have a core flip on the blue side, but they don't even need it to get it in. Arctic sneaking in that top side as they do their famous walk. Dragon Claw saying, hey, I want to be a part of this. This was fun.
As a Dubu goalie myself, the Dubu roll is such a powerful ability, and a bit of a nice little insight here. We showed some Vermilion gameplay earlier. Saikin has famously to me said, however, that he does not like playing against my Dubu. I choose to believe that's because of how powerful my Dubu goalie is, but either way, Dr. Bebop's Dubu goalie, very powerful there, able to keep the core away from losing both barriers and also moving it up, taking a barrier for themselves, but not going to be able to keep it for long. Sovereign getting some great X plays in there and keeping up that goalie Oki, meaning Tiny is going to be able to use the flip to move it into the second point. Both teams now doing the walk.
And we saw 2 KOs come out very early, and we were talking earlier about how sometimes you have to bunch up on this map, and there we see the downside of it where, yeah, you're bunched up, so you have extra chances to get it out, but you also have extra chances to die. As we see this Maelstrom not fully formed, maybe could have taken another life if it had been given time, but they said, you know what, we just want to focus on the barrier. We'll take the quick one while we can. Big Anime moving down, looking like they're going to take that orb, trying to survive this onslaught from being in that pocket, healing up slowly. These region changes really working out for them. I believe it was you who brought up that earlier when we were talking about the patch. Now we see the Tofu come out, really denying Sovereign this chance to attack. But even with that, they managed to keep possession in that pocket. But Dr. Bebop, with no sweat on their brow, says, you know what, I recognize that this is a tough situation, but I also recognize how I need to get out of it. And they take this barrier with a little bit of teamwork, but Dragonclaw not able to save it. And now whether or not they can save this goal is a different story, but they can't save the life of their teammate as Big Anime goes down. I had to double check the name, I had to make sure it was the one that I didn't want to say, but here we are, the barriers staying up even in this 2v3 power play situation. You have to wonder if they're able to keep this up. Dr. Bebop, yeah, they've had a couple of misreads on the situations, but now they have a core flip, and they have to read how they get it out of this pocket with the Tofu almost causing them an issue, but a good flip and a good goal. Dr. Bebop really showing why they deserve to be here.
Yeah, a lot of big plays there, but Dr. Bebop just making the most out of Dubu's defensive prowess there, really keeping that one barrier and the hope alive, despite Big Anime and Eternal Arctic having moments where they were out of the play. Either way, though, trying to keep the offensive pressure now. Moving through, gonna unfortunately waste a flip, meaning Sovereign is gonna get a chance to move it through, but even more so, Big Anime is gonna be going down yet again due to the Tofu. Tofu can be a really powerful kill move. You see a lot of forward Dubus know that, but it's really powerful sometimes on the defensive Dubu as well, as we see there. Continuing on, however, Tiny gonna get a chance to move it through, tries to apply the Maelstrom, but Dr. Bebop finding a really good angle out of there. Still, now having to fight a 2v1. Eternal Arctic just a little too far back to really move through. Tries to use the Tofu, but just not in the right position to do it. Both teams celebrating, but it is going to be Mighty Magitech that takes the set win.
And in that last play, you saw Dr. Bebop moving up to get that barrier or the goal save, but the Arrow Beam came through and kind of created this situation where they believed they were in the right spot, but they were just out of range. The Tofu coming out a little bit too late. This team player pick coming in now, though, and that could really help with this offense. The Dragonclaw saying, you know what, we're going to take Monumentalist here to try to close off this lane even harder. Unfortunately, I don't believe they have anything like missile propulsion, so it's going to create this awkward situation where the ult isn't particularly stronger, but it's going to make those logs with rapid fire excellent as they go to close off this lane and help the offense keep going.
Yeah, Mighty Magitech continuing the pressure. Dr. Bebop making a lot of great defensive plays, but it's difficult sometimes when your forwards tend to end up dying, and that is happening. Possibly going to be seeing it again as Eternal is looking really low, and Big Anime not far behind, especially in terms of stagger. Continuing on, though, great defense there. Dragonclaw almost getting it, but Big Anime finding a great opportunity to force it through, meaning a barrier is going down. Ban Octi or Alce is trying to make bigger plays here, trying to move it through. Sovereign going for the double barrier, not going to get it though against those layers of strikes. Eternal going to have to play back due to the really low stagger, but it doesn't mean much when X is in your face. Powerhouse for a reason. Sovereign made the good pick here, but it doesn't matter when Big Anime with that patience. We've seen it earlier and we're seeing it now. That patience is going to make it work. Going to get it past Dragonclaw, going to get it past Tiny, and get the first point in this set for Ban Octi or else.
And when you see those plays where you have a power play and end up losing a goal, much like they lose a player here on each side, the sides of this map are really showing why they can be a threat, especially with something like Knife's Edge and Spark of Power. We have these situations where they're keeping it in the pocket, but with both these players back, we'll have to see how this defense changes. They get it past Sovereign, but not able to get it to Big Anime, but Sovereign goes down once again to this Maelstrom. And you have to wonder whether or not they have to be rethinking where they're standing in these situations, or whether or not these are just some excellently placed tornadoes.
Yeah, you don't even need a tornado for that one, though. Tiny going to get a nice barrier there, getting it past Arctic and Dr. Bebop. But in return, we are going to be seeing Big Anime be taken out yet again. But again, the double kill coming out. Sovereign just not having a good time with these Maelstroms. From both eras, means that it's going to be difficult to contest that. Power plays are leaving though. Sovereign's back, Big Anime's back. Ooh, Dr. Bebop having to use the Duba roll, but is going to avoid losing anything there. The Red Core is coming out with these flips, these big hits, continuing on. Knife's Edge adding a lot of power to this game. Tiny, however, not able to intercept that, but is going to intercept an amazing primary. Have to watch out. You're in range of the Maelstrom, and that's going to lead to Dr. Bebop being taken out yet again. Arctic now going to have to make some big defensive plays. Big Anime staying up to try and push the offense. Tiny having the flip, going to have to use it because they are low, but it is going to make it work. Finding that nice clean hit into top, doing the walk here. We're going to be going into a 1-1 here in the third set.
You know, and we're just seeing lives be taken left and right. You know, it's a bit of a slaughterhouse here. But much like House, we have to worry about whether or not the House can win. As they say, this Dragon Claw losing yet another barrier. But we see Core going back, the Tofu coming out, closing off that lane. Sovereign, with the help of that drum in the offense, getting that barrier. Sovereign almost going down once again to that Maelstrom. And you know, with these rolls, these Maelstroms, the almost dash punch-esque ability from Asher, Path Splitters, everything's coming out. Everybody is at stake. You know, no life is sacred, it seems, on this map.
That could not be more true, but it doesn't even matter if lives are taken. I mentioned before those devious angles on the middle bouncer, and we're going to be seeing them there. Everyone's celebrating with the walk, but it is going to be the second point going to Don't Ban Octi or else. We'll have to see how they continue it. It feels like Eternal Arctic and Big Anime are just getting that offensive play now that they weren't getting before. We're already seeing it again. Both barriers are down. Eternal Arctic trying to find a way through, but Sovereign's going to be the one who finds a way. Great job by Arctic to keep the core in play, though. Means both barriers are not going to go down. Dr. Bebop has another shield from the goal being open. Big Anime trying to force it through with the Asher ult, but in the end is not going to even need it, as Tiny is a little bit stuck on that era primary, meaning they cannot move to intercept that great top hit, and that means we are going to a fourth set, as Don't Ban Octi or else is finally showing here why you don't want to ban Octavia against them, supposedly.
You know, and right as the enemy shields goes down, those Asher shields go up and a point goes to them. As we go into this draft, now we see a spark taken for Arctic, maybe trying to deny the no spark of leadership yet, but it could come out later. You know, this Timeless coming forward, the Dubu, these Tofu are going to be big, but they don't have the spread ability. They're going to be a little stacked on top of each other. The hot shot, though, adding to this core speed with the team player. Dr. Bebop says, if this core ever gets me, I want it gone. Size going to Big Anime, 2 Size now on them. And then we also see the chrono boost on the Era, so we have to wonder whether or not that extra speed and extra durability on that speed is going to matter. A good back pass to themselves off that middle drum as a barrier goes down, and now we have to wonder whether or not Arctic and Anime can keep it going. Dr. Bebop getting it out, it's pass to Arctic, a great pass through the X, the drum helping them keep this offense, the size increasing. You know, it just seems like no matter where this Asher is, they're able to be a massive threat. As now the Era has to mirror this Asher, and they say, you know what, if it gets to this guy, I'm starting to think that it's going to get to our net next.
Yeah, all in all, these barriers are just opening up a lot easier for Don't Ban Octavia or else. Dr. Bebop really showing the defensive prowess that we've seen so far, continuing to not lose a barrier in this point. Now, however, gonna have to deal with Sovereign. Arctic moving up to try and help counter, but it is going to lead to their untimely demise to the X abilities. Still, though, again, avoiding any barriers from going down. Big Anime and Dr. Bebop both have flips. They're going to be coming out. Big Anime moving the core up, but Dragon Claw going to move that flip through and allowing Sovereign to not only take that KO, but also both barriers in the right position to strike where Dr. Bebop is unfortunately getting schooled nearing the end of this point here. Sovereign just making those offensive plays work, and Tiny throwing the core in the perfect position for X to do some real damage.
You know, they say an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a flip for a flip, but here we see Sovereign saying, your life for my fist. You know, he's really just creating all these opportunities to kill, a couple deaths on his own, but at the same time, you know, when you're getting kills just like that, it doesn't really matter if you die once or twice if you get 3 kills in the process. So now Sovereign really showing that offensive pressure, but here we see offensive pressure with this core flip for the blue team coming up. Whether or not they can keep it up with this Path Splitter goes back to the goalie, but with that team player and that hot shot, it should be no problem to get it to their core flip player. And now we see an opportunity, but nothing gets taken. A little bit of a miss angle by Arctic, but they managed to keep it with that dribble and get it in. Dragon Claw, that Dubu being a little bit of a slow character, with no real movement speed from my understanding on their build aside from the mobility boots. But when you're constantly in a small space like this getting hit, you can't really stack that up, especially when sometimes you have to go to the other side to put down a huge wall and say, you know what, we're keeping it over here whether you like it or not, almost reminiscent of Gates of Obscura back in the day. But now we see the gates open for the blue team, and whether or not they can get this goal is a different story. But it seems like Sovereign, with this flip, creating an impossible situation for Arctic to deal with as the goal goes in.
Not a lot you can do with a flip in your face. You mentioned the momentum boots there. It's definitely difficult to stack it. And we saw some people in the chat saying, you know, Powerhouse Pauldron says that. And as a prior Powerhouse Pauldrons fan myself, I can definitely feel the appeal. But sometimes the speed is just too good on Dubu. But Dubu Wall, famously, as far as I've known anyway, being a really finicky ability, does mean Dragonclaw is going to be losing a barrier, another barrier, and then the goal as Big Anime, Eternal Arctic finding the perfect positions to capitalize on that unfortunate ability. That means we're going to be going to 0.5 here, folks. It's going to be on Mighty Magitech to try and force away the reverse sweep, or on Don't Ban Octi or Else to finally bring it in to a Game 5.
We see that new Awakening recovery drone come out. Excellent use by Big Anime. You know, when you have this X staring you down, sometimes it feels impossible to not die. So they say, you know what, I recognize there are going to be situations where I can't keep my life if we want to keep this play going. So I'm going to trade the recovery drone for that play. And here it's working out for them as they take that first barrier, the Dubu Wall, creating a situation of all time as we see the core get stuck there. This is why I say, you know, without that missile propulsion or something like that, that size stacking doesn't exactly always work in your favor. However, this core works in the favor of the blue team. Big Anime getting that goal and taking us to a set 5.
Yeah, no, in the end, Don't Ban Octi or Else, just finding that opportunity to really move it up, live in just a little bit longer, using that recovery drone, like you mentioned, to make the big plays, and that's going to allow Big Anime especially to just move in there, get those barriers, and make it hard for Dragonclaw to really find those clears outside of Asher's abilities. Moving into Awakenings, though, Big Anime going to get even more of an ability to strike war with Quick Strike on the table, but we're also going to be seeing a lot more special. Sovereign having both spec training and extra on top of all the other power with Prize Fighter and Knife's Edge means that Sovereign is just looking to murder. And you know, as an X player, that is what you have to sometimes do. All in all, though, some big picks for everyone. Arctic, notably, having both Spark of Victory as well as, in my opinion, the two most important sparks, Agility and Focus, means that we're going to be seeing a lot more speed, a lot more cooldown reduction for the team of Don't Ban Octi or Else.
Yeah, and you know, we see also this core going for them, not just the sparks. X almost back up, but spawning on the bottom side, not immediately able to help with this play as both barriers go down. You know, you see this core flip coming out for Big Anime. Whether or not they can use it is a different story. A situation not keeping possession there, but they're saying, you know what, we recognize that we can get it to our people when we need it most. And so much like that, that core goes into the net. Dragonclaw not quite able to save that with the somersault. And now they do the famous walk, both teams participating now, as you see sort of some good sportsmanship where even though they did lose that early round to the technical timeout, you know, we now see them in the lead here in this set 5, not worried whatsoever. However, I would be worried for the lives of these players as this Tofu is really keeping the pocket thin, but Dr. Bebop able to save it no matter what the situation. A flip for a flip, an eye for an eye. No deaths yet, but we might see one coming out on Big Anime as they go towards this barrier. Dragonclaw not able to save it as they go for that orb to deny Anime. But now we have a situation where we still have that recovery drone online as it is a new set, so we can maybe see a little bit greedier play, but they choose to play conservative and let Arctic get that barrier, saying, you know what, I trust that they can get that. And to get that they do, but unfortunately they also get their death certificate as they go down to that X flip. And now we have a 2v2 situation where one side has a barrier, and whether or not Big Anime can keep it up, they might be here to farm energy, but unfortunately they use an early evade, that core flip not coming out anytime soon now. We're about 12 more strikes away, but that recovery drone saying you're 0 seconds away from being alive as they almost die. Big Anime keeping the play going, Arctic getting the sparked core in overtime. I guess you have to attribute the Knife's Edge to that, as I'm not sure what else could have sparked it in that situation.
Don't Ban Octavia or Else has had some close games up to this point, but they do not want this game to be close. They have found their footing and they are looking to completely overpower this team. No barriers yet, although who is going down? That being Eternal Arctic, going to be taken out due to the powerful X, as we've explained earlier. But now Dr. Bebop, we've seen some good defensive there, but not quite there. The Dougal roll, just a bit of a misplay, going to lead to a barrier going down, but the power play is over, and that's what's more important here. Sovereign not able to keep that offensive pressure up, and most notably, Tiny is looking a little low, but so is Big Anime, and due to the loss of recovery drone earlier, they are out of the play. Tiny back from being staggered, but that barrier is going to be taken down thanks to that great series of hits by Arctic. Using the wall there, the Tofu is going to avoid the play from progressing any further, but they are going to lose the core. Great Duga roll there, keeping the core away from Sovereign, not even giving them a chance to really play it, and then finding that great up clear to Arctic. Have to watch out for that Maelstrom. Sovereign almost dying yet again, but not quite. Great Asher ult is going to lead to the barrier going down, and while the power play was started, it was quickly ended as Eternal Arctic, great use of the flip there, gets past everyone. They really should not have banned Octavia, as the reverse sweep to win this game was strong.
You know, there was plenty of scaling on the side of both red and blue team, both sides making some excellent plays all throughout the game. One thing that I'm wondering is maybe if the forward pick, not necessarily the players as they both played excellently, but the pick of X and Asher, are starting to wonder whether or not that was the difference in the situation, as both eras played fantastically, keeping control and keeping the passing lanes cut. Both Dubus playing out of their minds, saving things that looked impossible, almost 300 redirects on Dragonclaw. But with that extra pressure of the path splitter in those pockets, the extra pressure of that wall during the barrier beam, I'm kind of wondering whether or not that was the difference in this situation, even though both players played out of their minds.
I think in the end, both players did really good, and especially in the early game, you saw Sovereign was really scaling fast because it was just difficult for Arctic and Big Anime to stay alive against that overwhelming power on top of the support from Tiny. But in the end, it just didn't scale enough in those later sets. Big Anime started really finding their footing on the offensive Asher powerhouse plays, really keeping the core in those hot pockets. X does have some ability to do that with some of the bigger abilities like the Bell Ringer, but it's just a bit more difficult to do that. And in certain situations where they had the core up there alone, they didn't have as much of time there to really dribble the core and put it into situations where Dr. Bebop would not be able to contest. On the flip side, Big Anime just finding those really big offensive plays, keeping it in places where the Dragon Claw just didn't have any choice except to lose the barrier. And I think, especially near the end, once Big Enemy really found their footing, that really made a much bigger difference, allowing Don't Ban Octi or Else to start turning it around, start getting a lot more of those points. Even though Sovereign was still killing in the later half, kills were being traded on both sides by that point. So it wasn't as big of a power play advantage for Mighty Magitech. But either way, GG's to both teams. They played really well, and amazing use of the reverse sweep to bring it back. Both teams were very close to winning it all, but in the end, Don't Ban Octi or Else is going to be moving on to the losers finals.
Yep, you spoke about trades and about the time to dribble, but unfortunately, it looks like the two of us may be out of time as they are looking to trade the casters around as we go to a break. It's been a pleasure working with you, and honestly, I would be happy to commentate with you any other time as long as we get to see awesome games just like these ones.
Same here, fam. Thank you so much for casting with me. It was a very great time. And for all of you watching, I hope you stick around because we've got more Omega Strikers coming up with losers finals and then later grands for Seraphim Specialized Training number 9. Don't leave yet because you'll be seeing who takes it home later on. But for now, I am Frying Pan Man signing off. We hope you enjoyed and stick around for more games later on.
Vice versa.
Hello everybody, we're back. It is me, Lego Mage, back once again, casting these finals coming out here. I have everyone's favorite moist reptile, Soggy Iguana.
Hello, how are we doing tonight, folks? How are you doing tonight, Lego Mage?
I'm doing just stellar. You know how I'm doing. We were talking before this, so we know how this is gonna go, but we are jumping in right into it pretty shortly to our losers finals. Gex versus Don't Ban Octi, which is also most of Ballin' Ballers, the OSOS champions from last night as well. They've been playing really hard so far, and they're currently 5-1, but they are in this losers bracket here, trying to clutch it up and take the W into the grand finals. So this is going to be a hype one for sure. Gex has Vongola of the Rain, Spooked Altar, and Dave. I don't know who Dave is, but the other two veterans of the scene, been around here a while. So definitely look to probably take another tournament win under their belt as well. Definitely some hot competition coming out tonight.
Oh, 100%. I'm also excited to see more more gameplay from Don't Ban Octi or else. Eternal Arctic, Dr. Bebop, big anime milkies, big fan of them. We're not going to see the Octavia ban, something I would consider to be bait. Eternal Arctic, very good at Octavia, a big Octavia main. That being said, I've been very impressed with how they're able to control the gameplay with their era. So we're gonna have to see. We're actually getting an Octavia mirror match, 2 Octavias in this game. I would say Gex. Yeah, we can say Gex. What's wrong with Gex?
Yeah, two Ashers as well. As we take a look at these awakenings, it is in fact explosive entrance and extra special on Mongola and Dr. Bebop. Everyone else going for that explosive entrance. Definitely interesting here on Octavia. It's going to help out the primary and the special a bit, and of course you get the speed off of it. Not a character that I originally considered when that awakening came out, but it actually makes a lot of sense. So we'll have to see how this ends up playing out. Gex will be losing both of their barriers here relatively quickly here. This could be a spot for Don't Ban Octi or else to potentially do something, but that being said, Mongola, of course, able to just walk up and push it in, but Big Anime Milky's with the pass splitter. He's just gonna be able to sink it in a pretty tame first round for the most part, but I imagine this could be one of the closer games we see tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Explosive entrance, a very explosive awakening with 4 strikers who use it very well on the leaderboard. Asher notably having a very good time with it, I would say. Being able to abuse it with her primary, being able to use the additional dash range, something well overlooked is how short her dash can be. Unfortunately, it's very committal. Speaking of committal, we're going to see a flip coming up from Spooked Altar, and we're going to be seeing Eternal Arctic going back down. Passing it to Vongola of the Rain, getting a quick bumper tag, forcing Bebop to flip, but not getting it past Vongola, who's able to sink it in.
Great passing play between Spooked Altar and Vongola of the Rain right there. And of course, there is the march, I don't know what we should call that, the march of the ballers, I suppose. They do it after every point, but it's always nice to see. But Dave still has a core flip up. Mongola of the Rain also going to be having that core flip up here. Decent energy advantage for the side of Gex here, as Spooked Altar with the Octavia ult and the pass splitter will be able to bring down 1 barrier here. Looking to push hard for a 2nd barrier, but Big Anime Milky's pushing right back. Core flip from Dave's going to hit the bumper, unfortunately, but we'll be able to reroute it back out of there with a little help from the cyber swipes. You use a glitch pop to keep it up in the hands of Mongola of the Rain. Point blank core flip against Dr. Bebop. The log is cleared out. Eternal Arctic coming back to provide some midfield support as well, and they'll get it past the cat cannon. Additionally, Soup coming out from Dr. Bebop to keep this offense shut down, but they still need to be able to actually clear it out of this and get it back up to their Asher. Having a little bit of trouble with that, but the barrier will still remain standing, as now Big Anime Milky's is able to get a barrier of their own and earn a core flip in the process here. Up in the midfield, though, Dave with the cyber swipe trying to get it back up and roll with the Rain. Eternal Arctic running it back up the field, back up to Big Anime Milk. He's just going to core flip for that 2nd barrier. Taking a lot of damage for it, but they're still in a pretty good position going into this overtime. Their forwards do have to stand back a little bit. The Soup from Dr. Bebop will be enough to hold it out for now. Does have a core flip in the back pocket here as well. Gonna burn it, but loses the barrier regardless. And now Dave is the one with the core flip up here. Eternal Arctic and Dave ping-ponging a bit in this top side, getting it down to Spooked Altar, but Big Anime is there. Spooked Altar with the core flip on air, but Dave core flips it all the way back around with the cyber stripes, pushing back up, but Dr. Bebop is gonna be able to save it, getting back up to Eternal Arctic, who will find the shot right into the middle as don't ban Octi or else bring it to set point.
Truly something I'd like to say is that these teams have amazing offensive pressure between having Octavius and Ashes on both sides. We're able to see them keep this core up, and when it's up, it is a constant threat. It's up to the goalies to get it out of there. Bebop being able to hold it down, but so is Dave. Preemptive measures, whether it be the cyber swipe or the glitch pops here, Dave's able to keep it down, so is Bebop. That being said, being able to keep down, Eternal Arctic is going down to the bumpers.
Yeah, Eternal Arctic down. Will respawn here, though. Big Anime Milkies, though, was not looking great there, and Dave found the KO with the cyber swipes here, so they still got potential to get this power play going if Spooked Ultra can get it up. The soup, though, from Dr. Bebop is going to be a little bit of a hindrance here. Vongola, though, still keeping the offense going and will earn the barrier here for it. Eternal Arctic ulting up in the midfield, applying some more pressure, helping out Big Anime Milkies to keep the pressure on. The barrier will go down as Dave trying to get it back up to Vongola of the Rain. The pass splitter comes out in the top corner. Dave cyber swiping up, dropping the turret here as well, and it's going to be enough pressure. Gex will tie it up in set point, and this is looking like one of those games. It's just going to be back and forth the whole time, goal for goal. I think they're going to be matching each other, and it's really going to come down to the wire, I'm betting.
Absolutely, it's going to come down to the wire. We're seeing some fantastic plays at both Vongola and Big Anime Milkies, showing that these Asher buffs were nothing to laugh at. Able to just keep it in. We're actually going to see two core flips coming out of Gex. Dave and Spooked Alter forced to flip there due to the pressure that Big Anime Milkies are able to exert. Spooked Alter is going to be looking for the kick here, but not going to be able to find it as Bebop's able to pass it up to Arctic. Unfortunately, there goes Big Anime Milkies taking a quick ride, and a swift glitch bomb from Dave actually saves it. I was so sure that was going in. Spooked Alter is going to take a bumper for it and get the flow going, and they're just going to keep this pressure up, take the other barrier, and they're going to be looking so clean here.
Yeah, it's still anyone's match, though. The goals are open, but Vongola finds a really nice shot right in between the defense of Don't Ban Octi or else. So that will be Gex taking set one. Vongola of the Rain, the MVP, and this could be a crucial one. We do have some neat things here on the board. There are two sparks here. There is spec training, prime time, heavy impacts. Siege Machine is around for this Dubu as well, or even the Asher's Monumentalist. It will be Monumentalist pickup for Vongola of the Rain. Spark going over to Dr. Bebop. Spooked Ultra opting in for that glass cannon. Siege Machine on this other Asher. Primetime on the Aimi, and heavy impacts for Eternal Arctic. Yeah, overall, I think pretty straightforward draft. The glass cannon might be a little bit of a risky pick considering what else was on the board, but we'll have to see if Spooked Ultra can make it work. But already, Vongola of the Rain finding a big KO on to Big Anime Milkies, and the rest of Ball and Ballers not looking so hot right now, taking a lot of damage. Barriers are down, and Vongola of the Rain with the strike board just gonna be able to find the point. So Gex still keeping the momentum going and looking pretty hot coming off of this draft.
Definitely. I'm thinking that the glass cannon is going to pay off. We still have yet to see some of the big bombs for Octavia to drop here. What? Speaking of big bombs, absolutely massive Tofu, Big Soup Gaming coming in absolutely clutch. Going to allow Big Anime Milkies and Eternal Arctic to pass it through here. Going to try and apply enough pressure here. Big Anime Milkies, unfortunately, whiffing their goal, or the special, but a clean pass from Arctic's going to keep it up there.
Yeah, and energy is going to be coming online here soon for Eternal Arctic and Dr. Bebop as well. Big Anime Milkies, so with the dash off the bumper. Great shot to get it past Dave. The glitch pop was too late. Was not expecting that angle. So they will fire back with a point. But it's going to be going back and forth. They still, you know, like we said, anyone's match. Vongola, though, with a quick barrier off of a kickoff win coming out. Dave getting a core flip up here as well. Dr. Bebop also has some energy up in the pocket, but Spooked Ultra in the midfield, dribbling it, keeping control up. The soup will come out, so that cooldown is down. As back in the hands of Vongola of the Rain. Dr. Bebop forced to core flip it back up to Big Anime Milkies. Will earn a barrier here. Eternal Arctic now with a core flip of his own, sending it into the top corner. Dave core flips it right back, though, and now Dave cyber swiping up, applying more pressure. The barrier will fall here. Vongola of the Rain is looking kind of damaged, but should be able to survive. The pass runner traps Dr. Bebop in the corner, and Vongola of the Rain flips it right in. Gex with an easy set point there. Still looking pretty strong, and you know, this could have gone either way, but Gex, I think, they're showing signs of really pulling through. I think this is definitely in their favor now.
100%. The Don't Ban Octi team are going to have to pull something out here to even it out. That being said, we've seen tremendous play potential from them. Just like that, Eternal Arctic using the special to dribble the core to themselves, and Big Anime Milky setting up the play by placing the special, making it undodgeable, and popping the flip right through Spooked Altar. They're not giving this setup for free. If you want that set, Gex, you're going to have to fight for it.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be having to fight for it as they have fired back with yet another point of their own, continuously tying up the game. I take back what I said. This is just anyone's match. I'm not going to make any more predictions, I don't think, because it will come back to bite me. And already, of course, Don't Ban Octi or Else brings down both barriers very quickly, not even 20 seconds into the match. But Gex looking to push back here. The Cat Cannon comes out. Spooked Ultra brings out the Octavia ult, but Dr. Bebop holds. He holds, and those barriers will remain standing until I say that. Of course, Mongol over the range is going to walk up and take one. But Big Anime Milky's dribbling on the bottom bumper. Dave with the Strike War win, though, will shut that down, but back in the hands of Eternal Arctic, passing it back to Big Anime Milky's, but Dave with a great Strike War win on the goal line to keep it out of the goal there. Mongol over the range does have a core flip up, and so does Dave. Dave sending it into the top, up to Spooked Ultra. Core flip comes out from Eternal Arctic, hits the bottom corner, it bounces up, he cast it, Dave flips it right back, and it's still anyone's core, back in the hands of Mongola of the Rain. Dr. Bebop with the roll, Strike War into core flip from Mongola of the Rain will bring down the barrier, but back in the hands of Big Anime Milky's, waiting it out in the bottom, wins a Strike War against Dave, will find the point regardless. Don't Ban Octi or Else takes a set of their own.
Absolutely insane. It truly is anyone's game. We're seeing such a back and forth here. It may not always be taking bumpers for bumpers like that usually is, but right after goal, one team, the other team, one team, the other team, Octi, Gex. It is not stopping. It is not relenting. And there's some massive pickups here. Chrono Boost, Twin Drive, Hot Shot. We already seen Quick Strike and Spark of Agility taken. It's only so long until Spark of Leadership shows up. And if Bebop is in that lead to snag it, the game is pretty much sealed. Being able to add that speed, add that cooldown reduction onto your Fed Octavia, onto your Turbo Bis Asher, it's going to go crazy.
Yeah, Big Anime Milky's as well, forced to take that Chrono Boost to deny Spooked Ultra there, but oh my gosh, Eternal Arctic with the big KO, that explosive entrance coming in there, maybe a little bit, still standing on the edge a bit, but still, nice dodge there from Big Anime Milky's as well to stay alive, but yeah, 2 sparks on Dr. Bebop plus that extra special. He's definitely going to be cooking, and should this game go into later sets, which I imagine it will, that Spark of Leadership is definitely going to be scary. We've seen Spark of Stagger pass already, but the power one is still floating out there as well, so that's the potential for 2 sparks plus leadership. But Mongola of the Rain, big double barriers, and as Big Anime Milky's goes down as well, this could be Gek's chance to score. Spooked Ultra with the primary, gonna send it right through Dr. Bebop. Mongola of the Rain, fortunate late core flip there, but the point will be got regardless for Gex.
Gex have got to be feeling clean here. They have got to be feeling like a money machine. Dave coming in to apply some offensive pressure, but not quite able to keep it fully up there. Alter able to catch the core and fight it out with Arctic. Having a battle of the Octavias down here. Vongola sending it up, but not quite able to catch it back again, forcing them to play bot lane. And it's just stuck in this corner, but Dave is not letting it through. These goalies are holding it down. Absolute iron wall defenders, Bebop and Dave both.
Yeah, and that prime time as well for Dave has definitely been doing well. The glitch pops have certainly been pretty strong. And Dave, and energy's coming up for pretty much everyone here, so we could be seeing some big power plays going into overtime relatively soon. That being said, Big Anime Milky's with the Strike War will bring down the second barrier. Core flip from Dr. Bebop is going to get shut down by the pass splitter from Mongola of the Rain, but the barriers will still stay standing. The defense from Don't Ban Octi or Else is just too much, and core flips are traded here, but Big Anime Milky's keeps it in the goal box, sending it up to Dave, able to keep it absolutely held down. The point has not gone in yet. Spooked Altar passing it back up into the bottom corner. Dave with the cyber stripes coming back in. Margot the Rain burns a core flip, but the barrier is going to go down regardless. Spooked Altar pushing back up with the Octavia primary in overtime. Is going to be able to bring down the second barrier here as well. Pass splitter versus Soup. The Soup will win and send it up. The big enemy Milky's going to core flip it right up into that top corner. Dave not quite fast enough on that glitch pop. Hard to hit it when it's going that fast in overtime. But once again, Don't Ban Octi or Else have tied it all up. It looks like Eternal Arctic may have disconnected here. Whoops.
Oh dear. A classic ping moment. Oh. Yeah, they are turbo gone.
Are they okay? It seems that
we all good?
Okay, it looks like we're good. All right, the game shall continue. Now, with the Octavias in this bottom side, trading blows. Spooked Altar will get it through and bring down the barrier. Gongola bringing out the patch splitter, and Dave securing the kill with the cyber swipes, knocking Eternal Arctic just back into their own goal box here. Potential power play as well from Gex in this 2v3. Spooked Altar, nice little pass to Mongol of the Rain, but Dr. Bebop is able to hold it down with the roll. Once again, will keep it held down, getting up to Eternal Arctic. Brings down both barriers. Great passing play from the side of Don't Ban Octi or Else, but Dave will keep it out of the barrier, or out of the goal for now. Core flip from Mongol of the Rain is going to bounce off the Soup and get up in this top corner, though. It's going to allow Eternal Arctic to keep the pressure on and find the point as Don't Ban Octi or Else bring it to set point and look to take their second set.
Truly crazy, but an unfortunate flip from Von Gola was able to send it there. It's not exactly what you want to look for. Ideally, I think you just wait out the core flip there. It sucks to burn it and have it do nothing, but just being able to pause the core is a powerful enough tool in its own right. Speaking of powerful tools, we're going to see a core flip coming out from Spooked Altar, but it's not going to be making it past Eternal Arctic, and there's going to be some shenanigans against that middle bumper, but Dave and Spooked Altar are going to clear it out of there. Arctic getting control of the course, sending it to Von Gola of the Rain, and Von Gola of the Rain getting sent off the edge to the Shadow Realm.
It is kill or be killed out here, and Eternal Arctic chose to kill today. That explosive entrance plus heavy impacts is going to make that Octavia ult pretty lethal, and great defense from Dr. Bebop. Rolled on it to stop Spooked Altar's Octavia ult here as well. And Dr. Bebop still has the core flip of Dave now, core flipping, sending it up to Spooked Altar. The barrier will go down here. Pass splitter comes out from Vongola of the Rain. They're still looking for more, but Eternal Arctic and Dr. Bebop will be able to hold it down for now. Dr. Bebop sending it back in. Glitch pop from Dave. Sends it right back across, but the Soup in the midfield is going to keep the pressure on. Big Anime Milky's able to bring down both barriers on the side of Gex here. And Spooked Altar with a dribble into primary. Beautiful barrier takedown, and Vongola of the Rain just capitalizes right on it. Dribble to find the point. Gex ties it up on set point once again. Back and forth and back and forth. This is going to be a long game.
This is going to be a long and exciting game. That being said, we're seeing a lot of energy on the field here. Almost all of Don't Ban Octi are having their core flips. Bebop already has his, using it here. And Eternal Arctic getting a KO on Vongola. Spooked Altar, however, saying, nah, I don't really care. I'm just going to try and do my best. But not quite able to find anything with it. But they're keeping their flow state up, able to get one bumper. Here comes an attempt at two. Not quite finding it, though, and loses the flow state. Dave able to send it at a red core speed. Bebop having to wall it off. And Vongola Rain not really having anywhere to push it to. Finally waits it out. Gets it to Spooked Altar, and here comes the pressure in the corner, which they get it through.
Oh,
and
no.
Bebop! This
Dr.
is a massive opening.
Bebop
This is
is
insane.
down. Bebop down, repeat, Bebop down. It's just Eternal Arctic. Octavia go. Oh, Vongola of the Rain able to just walk it right in. Yeah, even if he hit that, that was going in, so it didn't really matter. It didn't really matter. The situation was messed up. But
you try to strike more the Asher Shield, it's not gonna work because there's that Octavia sending it that way.
Oh no! Spark of leadership is on the board. He goes for aerials. This is a spark of leadership moment. Dr. Bebop has agility and focus here. So with the leadership, that's going to be pretty decent. That's not the Giga Exodia, but it's pretty darn good on this Dubu here. Timeless Creator will go over to Dave, which will be pretty nice for that turret. Does have Deadeye to complement it. Rapid Fire on the Asher, Stagger Swagger on Eternal Arctic, and Fighter Flight on Vongola. But Yeah, not denying Spark of Leadership may come back to haunt Gex. We'll just have to see how it goes. The third Spark did pass by in that draft, so it can't get any better than it is right now, but we'll just have to see. That cooldown plus that speed, those are arguably, if you only have two, those are kind of the two that you want. So this does leave Don't Ban Octi or Else in a pretty good situation, and Anime Milky's looking for the goal on the bottom side. Dave with the glitch pop, though, able to defend it. But still in a tight situation. Eternal Arctic, though, missing the core flip. That's pretty big here for Gex. But with Spooked Altar staggered like that, it's going to be kind of a tough defense. Spooked Altar in the flow state, trying to get it out of this midfield, get it back up to the Asher with core flip, pushing this bottom barrier. But Vongola of the Rain misses the core flip. Spooked Altar with Octavio running it in, but Dr. Bebo still holds it down. The barrier will fall to Vongola of the Rain, but Spooked Altar has gotten KO'd here. And Dr. Bebop almost has a core flip up as well. Dave burns the cat cannon up in the top corner, and Big Anime Milky's walking up to fight Dave here in this top corner, but Dave holds it down. Dave is the legend. Nothing. That's a cat versus an Asher, but Asher does not win. Spooked Altar, pass down to Vongola, dribble into point. Gex bring it back and show that they are still very much in this one.
And in it they are. That being said, Octi, Dope and Octi are still going to perform really well here. That Spark of Leadership is going to go crazy. Absolutely blasted. Spooked Altar is going down for a dirt nap. Big Enemy Milky's able to follow up, get both bumpers, but not quite able to get it in yet. Having a flip on deck, though, is going to apply a lot of passive pressure. Spooked Altar able to get one bumper, achieving flow state, and is going to try for the second here, but not quite able to find Vongola of the Rain following up, forcing Dr. Bebop to wall due to the threat of the pressure, and Spooked Altar sends it into the other corner, but Bebop's able to get it out, and Dave is on the back ropes here. But
oh my gosh, Dave.
Craziest glitch pops I've seen.
Dave, it's some pretty insane glitch pops tonight. Oh, but Dr. Bebop with the log has also been holding it down, blocks the core flip here. Now Dave with the core flip sends it all the way around Eternal Arctic. Dr. Bebop with the soup, gonna send it right back in though, passing down to Big Anime Milky's, but Spooked Altar is in the goal box here defending, brings out the Octavia ult to shut down the core flip. Core flip coming out from Spooked Altar, sends it to the bottom. Core flip from Eternal Arctic in response, gets stalled out and sends it back into the midfield. Primary to get it through to Big Anime Milky's, but Dave sends it back up to Spooked Altar. Passporter comes out from Vongola of the Rain. Dr. Bebop with the roll, sends it down to the bottom. Big Anime Milky's not in the goal box to capitalize though. It's in the hands of Dave. Glitch pops it up. Eternal Arctic is there though, passing out to Big Anime Milky's in the bottom corner. Asher primary, but Dave with the strike for it. But Eternal Arctic in the top side, ready to recover. We'll find the angle in. Dave can't quite get up there fast enough. Dope Man Octi or Else firing back once again.
I didn't really see any Dave gameplay before today. I'm being a big Dave fan here. Some truly astonishing gameplay coming out from this IME. Speaking of astonishing gameplay, Gex are going to be able to take both those bumpers quickly and waste Bebop's flip, but it's not going to find its way into the goal yet. But Vongola with a flip is going to push it through, and we are on game point right now.
Gex have brought this one to the game point. This is it for a ticket to grand finals and to fight Seraphim Vermilion for the coveted title. Can Don't Ban Octi or Else bring this one back? We'll have to see, as they are making the first offensive push. No barriers yet, though. Dave bringing it down to the bottom side, letting Vongola cook here, sending it up to Spooked Altar. There's the first barrier going down, pushing in hard. Will bring down the second barrier here as well. Still in the hands of Vongola of the Rain, pushing it up at the top. Spooked Altar, corporate on the goal line, kills Dr. Bebop, and takes the point and takes the game, and that will punch their ticket. Gex to the grand finals.
Absolutely fantastic plays coming out of both these teams here. I definitely don't enjoy seeing Octavias in my games. That being said, being able to watch these players with much better positioning than me abuse it and use it to go mock speed and be able to catch the core, being able to see Eternal Arctic and Spooked Altar fall back when they need to, and in a split second be on the offensive again is insane. I've got nothing but absolutely mind blown by how these teams are playing and the synergy. Not to mention, Dave able to fully trust Spooked Altar's ability to come back and send it to where Spooked Altar knows they need to be. Vongola of the Rain's ability to secure the goal every time and to block flips. And we've already talked about how insane Dave has been with their glitch pops, their cyber swipes, their cat cannons, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and looking at these stats here, Spooked Altar almost pulling out 250 redirects, pretty solid. But Dr. Bebop with the 250 redirects and 103 saves on Dubu is absolutely insane. It was a crazy defense, but Gex just pulled off kind of, I want to say the miracle, but it's also not really the miracle considering the players on the team. But yeah, they're looking to take another Seraphim specialized title here, at least some of the players here. So that was certainly pretty great. But yeah, we're going to be going into our grand finals in just a moment, which is Seraphim Vermilion and Gex. Gex, as I just said, have members on their team who have taken titles from this tournament previously. Spooked Altar and I think Vongola as well. I'm actually not sure on that. I think Vongola was on a winning team at one point, but I know Spooked Altar was at least twice. So they are kind of the team to beat here for sure. Meanwhile, Seraphim Vermilion has always just barely fallen short of the crown. They've made it to Grands once and lost in a painful manner, a heartbreaker of a match, and then they didn't quite make it to Grands the last time they were here, but now they've made a very clean run through this tournament. Let's check the record real quick. Yeah, 6-1 right now. Seraphim Vermilion, so they're pretty hot right now, and this is definitely going to be a really good match. Like, no matter what the outcome, just the narrative alone, the team to beat versus the underdogs who've been trying to win it.
Yeah, definitely an exciting dynamic we have going into this match. And honestly, I'm eager to hear it. Who do you think's gonna take it all here?
It's a tough one. I honestly don't know, but I have to put my money. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? How much money do I have? A little bit. I got a little bit of money. Hey, you know what? When Max opens the predictions, we'll sort that out there. So I'm not gonna curse it. Because if I say it out loud, I'll curse it.
Oh my. It's definitely exciting. I will say that I believe 2 of the players from Vermilion are somewhere else right now. They have visited the LAN. They're going down in Arizona right now. And that might just be the difference that makes it. You know, they've got that Arizona air in their lungs. That'll really do it big.
Yeah. Sakeen and Mexi are currently in Arizona at the LAN as well. Also, yeah, go check out the LAN. They're like streaming stuff for that as well. I haven't checked exactly what, but they've been streaming stuff like all day, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, they're at the LAN center right now playing from there, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, we're just kind of waiting on them for the moment. But yeah, I think we're gonna throw it to a quick 2-minute break or 5-minute break, however long, while these players get ready and do their map bans, and we'll be right back with the grand finals. So don't go anywhere. Yeah, grand finals coming up next. their map bans? Okay, then mind.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Max. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Max, for sending us
Max.
live.
I didn't say I was ready. I was asking you a question, but okay, thank you, Max. All right, well, we're back now, everybody. We got the players in here. They're doing their map bans currently. So we're just gonna be waiting on that for a bit, but yeah, regardless, this is best of 3 with bracket reset. The bracket reset is best of 1, right? Confirmation?
Confirmation, I believe so.
Yes. Okay, best of 1 bracket reset. No, so best of 3, the best of 1 bracket reset, as per the usual. But we're gonna be getting into it pretty shortly. Looks like the map has been selected. Yes, we are going back to Taiko Temple. Once again, back on that Taiko, that temple, that bouncy house, and we'll see how it goes. You know, high variance, well, not necessarily a high variance map, but definitely one of the more chaotic ones that we see here. So I have to see how it goes. I imagine a Mako goalie pick would probably come out from the side of Seraphim Vermilion here. Looks like Mexi actually hovering that Atlas here instead. Double cat goes pretty hard. That looks like an Asher ban here against Vongola of the Rain. And noted as well, if Gex wins this, Vongola of the Rain will be the first and only player to ever win 3 Seraphim Specialized. So that's pretty neat. So they're playing for all the marbles, and yeah, it looks like all the marbles indeed, as Cloak is breaking out the Kazan, Sykeem on the legendary Drakkar here, as we get a Rasmus pick, an Era pick, and an Aimi pick coming out from the side of Gex. Take a look at these awakenings in a minute.
Fortunately, we don't have that tech that Bestie and Slot has that shows us the awakenings ahead of time. That being said, it doesn't take us too long to get in on it. Prize Fighter, Spark of Agility. With all of Gex taking Spark of Agility and only Mexi Casual on the side of Vermilion taking Spark of Agility, Sykeem and Cloak opting for the Prize Fighter, looking to be brawling, it seems. Try to put the Psycho in Psycho Temple.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sweating right now at the sight of Prize Fighter Kazan and Prize Fighter Drakkar coming out today in a Spark start. That's absolutely insane, but if it works, it's going to work very hard. And if it doesn't work, well, it's going to be kind of pathetic, but we'll have to just see how it goes. They have gotten 1 barrier here. Cloak has hidden that coveted level 2 as well on the Kazan. Mexi navigating the core around the Rasmus hook there, getting it back in the hands of Cloak, but Spook Ultra able to clear it out here in the midfield. Mexi send it right back up. Needs to get it past Vongola of the Rain and this Storm, though. Gonna bring out the Atlas secondary for that, and the forwards on the side of Gex have taken a lot of damage right now. Spooked Altar is not looking super healthy at the moment, and Mexi has a core flip up as well. Cloak launching Spooked Altar all the way back to the other side of the field, goes for the core flip into dash, but is a bit unsuccessful there. Dave, nice evade there, will not get KO'd, but the barrier will go down as Mexi pushed up to the midfield. Everyone is looking so hurt on the side of Gex right now. Sykeem is dribbling in the midfield, trying to send it back up, looking for an opportunity to score here. Dave, cyber swiping up, Mexi with a primary, gonna send it right back. Dave with the great glitch pop to save it, but it doesn't matter, because Cloak's gonna find the KO and slam the core in with Dave, scores the goalie and the core. Seraphim Vermilion will strike first, and Mexi will preserve the core flip as well.
I gotta say, that has to be possibly one of the best placed special secondaries I've ever seen from a Kazan. Able to shoot the core at the perfect angle that it can't be intercepted, while also absolutely blasting Dave. That being said, this comp is pretty volatile right now. Having only 1 person with your Spark being Mexi Casual means that when Spark of Leadership, a very controversial and very strong awakening, shows up, we gotta pray, or that rather Vermilion has to pray, that Mexi Casual is the one getting all the experience. Otherwise, it's gonna fall into the hands of the Sparkers over in Gex.
Yeah, if Gex wins this set, it could be a little bit rough depending on what this draft throws their way, as any of them can take Sparks and it just won't even matter, whereas Mexi is the only denying tool on the side of Vermilion. This being said, Spooked Ulcer dribbles into core flip, but Mexi shuts it down with the Atlas secondary, taking a bit of damage but gonna ult himself here, stay nice and healthy. as Vermilion tries to work out how to get this core out of their side of the field here. The strike shot coming out, Spooked Alter whiplash into pendulum swing, but the core's moving a bit too fast in this overtime. Cloak will burn a core flip on the air, but Mexi sends it right back into the hook, but with the core flip, we'll be able to recover it. However, Vongola of the Rain will find the pass right back up to Spooked Alter, as Gex will secure the point regardless.
Absolutely fantastic save from Mexi, but not quite able to fully clear it. Spooked Alter and Vongola just had pixel perfect positioning, able to send it to each other and get it into the goal regardless. But we're going to see some strong offense coming up from Psykeen and Cloak Oak here. Spooked Alter able to almost keep it up single-handedly, but falling back, gets it from Dave to Vongola. Spooked Alter yoinking it away out of the hands, gets a free bumper out of it, and the offense is real. Gex are able to keep it up here and just apply so much pressure. All these abilities coming out, gets the second bumper. Mexi seem to be in trouble with the core flip, but out comes the expanse. Psykeen passing it to Cloak Oak. A glitch pop from Dave, sending it vertically, allowing Cloak Oak to catch it again. Mexi's gonna have to use the primary to get it out of there. A hook comes out from Alter, but doesn't find anything except area denial. Cloak Oak gets control of the core, passes it to Vongola of the Rain, and it's getting backwards. Psykeen able to keep it up there, causes a flip, gets both bumpers due to a good old split the difference from Cloak Oak. Mexi keeping it up, leaving the crease, and putting it up there, but Spooked Alter and Vongola are keeping it up as well.
Oh, and Cloak earns Dave's core flip there, but they still need to find a shot to score this thing. Mexi dribbling it off the center, buying Psykeen a little bit of time, but Spooked Alter pushing up in the top. The Atlas primary is going to send it through, but Cloak Oak still needs to be able to find it, and with the hook, what a play! Dash into hook, sends it right into the top side of the goal. It bounces all the way down. Dave couldn't predict that one. Seraphim Vermilion will bring it to set point, and the energy is looking decently in their favor. That being said, Spooked Alter immediately finds the double ding. Both barriers down now, and Spooked Alter has the core flip up, dribbling up, hooks it, brings it to the top side with the whiplash, core flips it on the goal line to secure the point as Gex tie it up now. Set point for both teams, and what could potentially be a game-defining draft.
This is Gex strength. Gex are able to reset momentum. Normally being able to get a quick double ding into a goal really sets a team's mental up for being able to carry it into the next goal. But Gex say, no, we're just going to take two right back. We're going to get the goal ourselves, and we're going to be able to do anything about it. Trading bumpers for bumpers here. Spooked Alter and Vongola are keeping it up again. Mexi burning a flip, but not quite finding it. Psykeen just barely keeping it out of the hands of Spooked Alter to negate the play, and Dave, with a well-placed glitch pop, is able to keep it up.
And Cloak Oak now with the core flip, burns it here, tries to send it in the top, but Spooked Alter and Dave able to hold it down with a pendulum swing by Spooked Alter against Mexi. Is able to send it right in. Gex will take the first set here, and Spooked Alter the MVP. Let's see what they are rewarded with. There are two sparks, in fact, on the board, Resilience and Focus, but Monumentalist and Timeless Creator are here as well as pickups for potentially this Atlas. It will be a Spark of Resilience pickup. Actually, going for the Spark of Focus, will have to deny that from the other team. This will allow potentially Monu. Yep, there it is. Monu on the Era and maybe Timeless on this Aimi here. Hotshots falls to the car. Yeah, there's Timeless on the Aimi. Overall, pretty good draft for both sides. Cloak did get prime time, so that's pretty good on the Kazan. I'd say it's relatively even. I think a lot of people got what they wanted in that draft.
Personally, I think it's sided towards Gex being able to secure the Timeless Creator on Dave, as well as the Monumentalist on Vongola with such a narrow map. That Maelstrom is going to cause absolute havoc, and being able to keep the pressure up that Dave's been able to do all game with longer cannons is going to go the extra distance. That being said, one of the weirder picks I saw was Spark of Resilience, normally regarded as one of the weaker sparks due to stagger scaling awakenings being removed. I find it to be quite a good pick here because Cloak Oak and Psykeen are just trying to level the playing field by KOing people, but they're not quite going to be able to do that with just that little extra stagger on Spooked. Vongola able to find the bumper though.
One barrier down here. Spooked Altar with the pendulum swing. We'll find another, and Cloakoak not looking too hot over in the enemy side of the field. Just trying to play for his life a little bit here. Psykeen just forcing the core into this corner over and over again. Dave on the defense, though, will hold it down. They will earn one barrier on the bottom side here. Spooked Altar bringing out the hook. Dave passing it in. Spooked Altar trying to dribble it up, but Psykeen with the shotgun is going to interrupt. Another pass back up to Spooked Altar. Still holding onto this core flip, though. Cloakoak hooking it in and getting another barrier. Spooked Altar still has not used the core flip when he's had the chance, holding on to it for the score, but Cloakoak is approaching dangerously close. Spooked Altar, though, now pushing up with the whiplash. Is going to get back to Mexi, though, who's going to be able to clear it down to Psykeen as Cloakoak with the core flip of his own now. On this top side, Dave trying to keep it on this bottom side. Neither goalie wants the enemy forward to flip it, but Cloakoak finds the flip down to Dave. But Dave draws with the core flip of his own up into the top corner, and Cloakoak wins the strike war, though, against Spooked Altar, and will send it right back in as Seraphim Vermilion fires first once again.
Omega Strikers is all about your ability to adapt, and what we're seeing here is Cloakoak and Psykeen noticing that the KO comp with the resilience pick isn't quite going to work out so well, and swapping to a much more core control oriented style of play. We're seeing a bunch of massive knocking out Mexi. This is the time for Gex to shine. They're applying the pressure of 100 Gex on the field right here, and they're going to find that goal.
That Monumentalist Storm was absolutely devastating. Yeah, you gotta watch out for those. That thing takes up basically a whole lane on this map. It's a very strong pick on Era, on Tycho Temple, and Mongolo the Rain does have both the midfielders actually gonna be having their core flip here. Mongolo the Rain burning it here, sending it up to Spook Altar. They will earn one barrier in return here, but now Psykeen is trying to try and get it up to Cloakoak here. The Atlas Primary could be enough, but nope. Dave able to clear back out, getting it up to Spooked Altar in this top corner, playing hard. Core flip comes out from Psykeen, sends it all the way back over, and now on the bottom side, Psykeen pushing up into this corner. Cloakoak trying to find a good position, but Gex able to clear it back out to the top. Cloakoak with the hook, though, could be able to interrupt it and strike ward Dave to bring down the barrier. Psykeen pushing up hard. Dave on the goal line, though, able to clear it back out. Mexi pushing up to the midfield. The Storm comes out to buy a little bit more time, but Mexi dribbling it. Oh, gets interrupted by Spooked Altar's pendulum swing, and the barrier goes down. Cloakoak with the core flip, but Dave with the turret is going to shut down that shot. Back to Psykeen once again, dribbling in the middle. Mexi core flipping it on the backside, sending it all the way around the world. Back to Cloak on the top side, goes for the special, but Dave is there to block. Dave also has a core flip up in the back pocket. Is now Spooked Altar with the hook in a pendulum swing. Mexi able to block it, though. Back down to Psykeen as Dave passing in the bottom. Mexi goes down to another Storm. Spooked Altar just sinks it right in. Oh no! Devastating point for Gex.
Absolutely incredible. As a wise man once said to me, I've never died to a maelstrom in my life. Unfortunately, Mexi's not going to be able to say the same anymore. Being able to be taken down by that Monumentalist Era twice now. Mexi's going to have to keep an eye out for that, but in the goalbacks, what are you going to do? Not much. It's just coming your way. Once more, almost able to hang on to the very edge. Gex having all three core flips here are going to be able to apply some pressure, and they might just be able to take the set right here as they take a bumper. Dave keeping it up with a glitch pop. Vongla using the core flip, but not quite finding it. Spooked Altar having their flip, making the advance. Vongla, bewitching beam, and a maelstrom. Is it going to do the thing? It does.
No!
No, kill the Spooked Altar's
Not
flip.
again!
It's flip swing. Oh my god!
No, no, no. The first time, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Kill me with the maelstrom once, shame on you. Do it twice, it's shame on me. Do it 3 times? What's happening? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And that's a rapid fire. That's a rapid fire on the Era as the reward here. Mexi will pick up the team player, so that's pretty nice. Recovery drone going over to the side of Spooked Altar. Mexi probably should have taken that, but oh well. Spec training on this Imi. That turret will be hitting pretty hard now with that Timeless Creator. Psykeen going for the size, the built diff, and Fighter Flood on Cloakoak is actually a very nice pickup on the Kazan, considering what they're going for. But they're going to have to turn it up a notch a bit. Those prize fighters haven't been doing too much that last set, as I think Gex actually won the KO battle. Of course, I say that, and they are able to bring down both barriers here. Psykeen, clean pass up to Cloakoak, who's going to open primary it right in, as once again, Seraphim Vermilion will strike first, but That being said, they've got the first goal every set, but they've also lost every set. They need to find a way to close it out and just confirm these set wins.
And that's what it comes down to, being able to confirm them. They're able to close out the barriers, but then Dave's ability to hold down the net is not, it's unquestionable. Dave is incredible, able to save that barrier just barely, and the second one as well. And a double ding, due to some Psycho Temple angles, are going to take it. Mexi's back on the ropes, gonna have to look out for that Maelstrom that's gonna be coming his way that he knows is coming. Saikeen able to take control of the core. That Maelstrom, here it comes. The special coming out from Mexi to guarantee nothing happens.
Yeah, definitely being aware of this now. I guess three traumatizing deaths is enough to do it. Cloak Oak with a point-blank core flip for the barrier, and clean offense coming out still for the confirmed point here. Saikeen to Cloak Oak angle brings Vermilion to set point 2-0. If they were going to take one, now is the time to stay in this match and not drop game one here. On this bottom side, Mongola of the Rain, Dave pushing up, bringing out the turret, but is only going to result in a lost barrier of his own. The storm coming out, Mexi able to evade this one. Will pay all the energy for it, but will remain alive. And a big double ding, though, coming out from Gex off of the center barrier. Absolutely massive, as Dave now in this top corner needs to get it past Cloak Oak. With a little help from Spooked Altar, will be able to do so, as Spooked Altar working his way up the field. Gets revived by the revive beam after Cloak Oak found the primary kill, and Cloak Oak dashing in with the hook into Kazan's strike will be able to bring down this barrier as well. Great save by Mexi against the pendulum swing as the storm comes out once again. Mexi able to evade it, though. Now on the bottom side, Mongola of the Rain has a core flip up. Cloco bringing it back to this top corner. Dave bringing out the turret as well. Core flip from Mongola of the Rain in the center. Rewatching Bing killed Saikeen and just sent it right through. They had the perfect defensive formation, but it was enough damage to knock him off the edge.
This has to be the first recorded case of Bewitching Beam killing someone. That move does no damage. That move does no knockback. And yet Vongola of the Rain able to make it work, saying, you know what? You chose the KO comp? Let's play some KO comps, huh?
Yeah, I mean, for real, Vongola of the Rain's gonna end with like 8 KOs after this. Is kind of insane. Pass, Saikeen says. Now in the bottom corner, though, Cloak Oak with the core flip will bring down this barrier, but Spooked Altar bring down a barrier of his own, and with a core flip still up, could be looking for more. Vermilion able to get it out of his clutches, though, and bring it into the bottom. Spooked Altar core flipping it defensively here to send it back over his cloak. Kind of forced to eat that Imi turret a little bit, but they'll be fine. Spooked Altar in the midfield, gonna send it right back up, having the war with the lizard in this top side, and Mongola just keeping it out of the hands of Cloak Oak, trying to get it back up into offensive play, but it floats right back to where Cloak is standing, and with the hook into the top side, Vermilion take a set of their own now, bringing it back. Cloak Oak, the MVP, possibly rewarded with Twin Drive. There it is. Twin Drive, explosive entrance, 1-2 punch. This is the King's Banquet for Kazan, and it looks like he's going to be going with the explosive entrance.
Notably, there's a lack of spark of leadership here, which means if they're able to take it to set 3, Vermilion is going to have the opportunity, no matter what, to deny the spark of strength and deny that extra power creep. That being said, I'm not sure that Gex needs the added power from the spark of leadership. I think they'll be able to take any other awakening and apply just as much pressure with what they've been able to do.
Yeah, Stagger Swagger now on Mongola. Dave has extra special timeless creator, specialized training, cat cannon, which is kind of insane. As we see right there, Cloak Oak losing his entire health bar pretty much to it, but Cloak's build is nothing to laugh at either on this Kazan. It's a pretty strong build that we got going here as well. Siege Machine on the Atlas and Twin Drive onto the cars, also pretty nice pickups. So we'll see if Vermilion is going to be able to cook with these newfound awakenings here. On this bottom side, they're looking for this bottom barrier. They will, in fact, find it as the storm comes out from Vongola. Spooked Altar, though, fires right back with the bottom barrier of his own and keeps it going. Brings out a second barrier here as the offense is still on. Dave going to send it right back in. It's Cloak Oak trying to push it back up through the midfield, though. Spooked Altar has a core flip. A great hook intercept from Saikeen, but it's not going to be necessarily enough, as Dave is just going to keep sending it back up to Spooked Altar. Cloco having to stand on top of him to interrupt that Spooked Altar. Up in the top corner, Dave brings out the Cat Cannon, but Mexi's able to get it out of there. Vongola pushing up on this bottom side. Mexi able to get it out once again. Both forwards holding onto their core flips here as we enter overtime. Mexi sends it back up and it bounces back around. Spooked Altar in the top, dribbling hard. Core flips it, but the Atlas secondary is going to shut down all of his dreams. Now back in the hands of Cloco. Flips it into the top side. Dave, though, with the strike, able to react and get it out of there. Back down to Vongola, dribbling it, trying to find a way out of the situation, but Saikeen is holding the out clear too hard. Spooked Altar on the top, trying to push it back up, but oh no!
Oh! Tragedy.
Oh no! Controller saves that a little too far back on that angle. Saikeen hit the own goal with the shotgun in overtime. Oh, tragedy has struck today.
We've all been there before. Best to just move on and not dwell on that one, but that one for sure is a tilt here. Mexi able to keep the barrier with an Atlas expanse, but not for too much longer. Spooked Altar is able to slip it right through. A Maelstrom not fully formed is not going to cause as much havoc as it has previously. Mexi and Saikeen unable to get it out of here though. Vongola, Spooked Altar able to apply so much pressure. The flip, the beam. Saikeen almost becoming just a dream, but Cloco finally has control of the core. Are they going to be able to find it? Yes, they are. They're able to find it. Saikeen having flip. Cloco right there. Apply the pressure. There's so much going right for them right here. The flip comes out from Saikeen, but the Cat Cannon catches it, and Cloco catches the Cat Cannon and kicks it in.
That Cat Cannon held it down pretty hard, but the pressure coming out from Vermilion was just a little bit harder here. And big energy advantage as well going into this. Mexi, Cloco have their core flips here. Spooked Altar almost there as well, but not quite. So if they make this a fast set, Vermilion could bring it to an easy set point, but a great hook by Spooked Altar. Tries to pendulum swing it. Mexi with the core flip, able to get it out, sending it up to Cloco. Will earn one barrier. Core flip, trying to go for more, but Vongola of the Rain is back there and able to get it out. Brings out the Storm here as well. Cloco in this top side, dribbling it. Kazan primary comes out, but still Gex able to hold. Mexi pushing up to this midfield to try and keep it going. Spooked Altar trying to get it out though as Dave cyber swipes on the bottom side, brings down one barrier. Spooked Altar with the hook, bring it up to the top side. Core flips it, but Mexi holds it down. Saikeen right there as well. The Atlas secondary, a little bit of a panic one, but the barrier will still stand here as Spooked Altar going to miss the angle a bit. Dave bringing it back up to the top side. Cloco trying to interrupt these passes, just staying up in offense, ready position, ready to receive the rock and make a play. But Dave doing everything in his power to not let Cloak get a handle on this core. Spooked Altar pushing this top side hard. It hits stun from the pendulum swing. Should it be enough? The barrier comes down. Dave places the giant turret. Spooked Altar with the hook. The storm comes out. Mexi's able to dodge it, but Spooked Altar finds the shot between all three members of Vermilion. The storm cleared a path. The storm cleared a path, and he was able to find it like Moses parts the Red Seas. Vongola of the Rain parts the Red Seraphim teams, and Gex brings it to match point.
Oh dear, a quick double ding from Spooked Altar means this looks like trouble for Vermilion, but we've seen them get out of tougher situations here. Saikeen able to sneak it back out, but this Maelstrom's coming and evade. Let Saikeen keep the play up and forward. Takes a bumper. Not gonna let today end just like this. And they're keeping it up. They're keeping the pressure up. A foot comes out from Dave, but Saikeen not letting it cross the midfield line. But Spooked Altar there to receive it the exact moment that it does. A hook comes out, and it's not able to find it due to a shotgun. Vongola setting up that NATO, and here it comes.
Uh-oh, Spooked Altar with the core flip, and the pendulum ring actually saves it! Absolutely incredible save, but they still need to earn the point. 10 seconds till overtime here as well. Sending it back up. The glitch pot from Dave still just keeping it away from this barrier's Cloak with the primary into core flip. Will find it, but goes too wide! It goes too wide!
No!
No, it only goes off the rebound. Gex take game one.
Oh no, not like this.
Not like this.
That is the last way you want a game to end. Hopefully Vermilion are able to shake off the sillies after that play. Best of three. Best of three with bracket reset. Best of three with bracket reset. So Gex have to win another one here and then reset the bracket. So they have to win 2 more to take this. Vermilion, they just need 2 here as well. Quick look at these stats. A lot of saves from Mexi here. It was over there a lot of the time, but 260 redirects on Spooked Altar.
and 122 shots is actually pretty insane. Yeah, Spooked Altar versus Mexi. Going redirect for redirect, almost shot for save, 118 to 122. That's kind of crazy to look at. But going into our game 2 pretty shortly here as well is going to be on Oni Village. A bit different from Taiko Temple, obviously, but a bit of a longer map. Range characters are pretty nice. You got stuff like that Estelle, that Kai, whatnot, what have you. But turtling goalies can also be pretty well off here as well, to just have like Pauldron's Dubu or something defend the one lock. So we'll see how they end up playing it, if Dave is going to stay on that IME or switch for something else. But I could imagine the IME pick still coming out. They've done pretty well with it so far. And we'll just have to see if they can take it. Oni Village, a little bit of a different monster here than Taiko Temple, but I'm curious to see how it goes. Yeah, game 1, a bit of a heartbreaker for Vermilion. Had a few mistakes, 2 own goals as well. Yeah, I hate to see it. So maybe they'll be a little bit better off on Oni Village, but with how fast the core moves on that map, it definitely has the ability to result in unfortunate situations like that happening as well, where you hit the rebound off the barrier and it goes right in.
I don't think it's as prone as Taiko Temple. Those drums certainly cause a lot of mayhem. We were able to see it with the shotgun self goal. Unfortunately, the drum was out, what fed the core to Psyche and forced them into that awkward position. As well as some of the true chaos we've seen just from that middle bumper, bouncing it back at the goal, bouncing it at bizarre angles. It is consistent, but it is a prominent stage hazard that is very frequently there, and you have to account for every possible option and every possible use case of it.
Yeah. We'll have to see how this ends up going here. We are loading in right now into this pick phase, this ban phase. See what comes out here. We saw the Asher ban and the what did Gex ban last game? Jog my memory here. What did they ban? They banned,
I couldn't tell you. Truth
they
be
banned
told,
Zentaro. They banned Zentaro. I know what
that would do it.
They
My
banned
mind was
Zentaro.
just so engaged with the last match. Everything that happened prior to it, including picks and bans, went out the window. Things were going off the walls quite literally that game.
It looks like a Kai ban coming out and an Asher ban. Interesting. Coming out from the side of Gex. So switching it up here in the banning phase, as looks like Mexi going to be on that Mako goalie. This will allow Cloak onto the signature Zentaro here as well. Pretty strong on this map as well. I'm pretty sure that this is Cloak's best Zentaro map, and Psykeen going to be on the now here as well. So definitely a strong team comp coming out from the side of Vermilion. This being said, Gex looks like Spooked Altar back on that Rasmus now, probably from Vongola, and Dave on that IME once again.
So actually, we're not going to be seeing Vongola at all. Light of Sky did get subbed in before the match. I wanted to mention it, but we were too busy going a bit crazy with it. So we're going to be saying Light Skies now, and it's going to be Light Sky versus Psyche. Excited to see who's able to abuse now the most, having such a strong kid, having such strong presence in the team play with great awakenings. We're going to see a quick ding from the top, a double ding. Very fortunate. That is... It's very easy. Wow!
What an angle. Spooked Altar. Yeah, hit the barrier. It bounced back to him, and he just hit it right into where the center of the goal gates are as soon as they open. A great shot found by Spooked Altar there for a quick point, as they're looking to keep this domination. Well, I wouldn't say domination, but this winning going. Quick kickoff as well. The hook brought down one barrier here. Mexi gonna go a little bit wide on the cage, as Spooked Ultra still looking to push from this top side. Sakeen able to get it out back over to Cloak, looking for the strike war against Dave, but like Sky keeping it out of there. Moving a little bit too fast to hit it with this dash here as well. Can't quite grab it. It's always just a little bit too far, but that's just the story of Oni Village, honestly. Everything, you have to time it just a little bit earlier because of stupid speed boosters. That being said, a great play, great setup there from Seraphim. Put the now primary right in front of the barrier, and Cloak just flipped it right in. So that will be the goal open on the side of Gex. Vermilion looking to score here as Mexi sending it back up, but Light Sky and Spooked Altar have a really strong control over this midfield right now. Oh, great save by Dave as well. Spooked Altar has a core flip up here as in this top corner. Light Sky sending it down. The cat cannon is around. Core flip comes out from Mexi, sends it right down, but Dave goes for the glitch pop. Almost reaches it, not quite though. Vermilion will fire right back.
Vermilion are not quite done with this game yet. They're not giving up. They're looking to get some vengeance and take this to a game 3. That being said, Cloak Oak is going to be putting out a special, but not quite able to find the right angle. A barrier down on the side of Vermilion. Mexi able to lock down the barrier, keep the 1. All you need is just the 1. But the core is seeming to be in Vermilion's half more often than not. There goes the other bumper. Spooked Altar approaching with a core flip and a whiplash. Not much you can do about that.
Big plays coming out from Spooked Altar. Very, very strong on these scoring points so far that we've seen on this map. Dave does have a core flip up here as well, so looking decent for the side of Gex. Potentially trying to win this set and get this first draft off. I don't know if we mentioned the starting awakenings, but everyone just took aerials here, so just aerials. Sorry, all around. Aerials all around, but Seraphim and Mexi having to defend pretty hard here against Spooked Altar. Core flip comes out from Mexi, but Dave with the cyber swipes blocks it and gets the barrier. And now the cage gonna come out from Mexi, just keeping it on the defense, trying to hold it down. Light Sky has the core flip, whiffs it on the air, but Dave sends it right back up. Light Sky goes for the primary, but it's not quite far enough. Spooked Altar, though, in the top side, will find the dribble into Pendulum Swing and get the hit stun off. Gex take set 1.
Spooked Altar has been absolutely wonderful at being able to land these checkmates, being able to put the core in such a position that they're able to pendulum swing Mexi and the core, and sometimes Seraphim as well, all 3 of them. And as a reward, they're going to be able to take Demolitionist, Size on Rasmus, noticeably good, being able to get the cooldown even better. We're going to be seeing more of those checkmate whiplashes. Spark of Leadership, notably still on the board, not taken by anyone, now picked up by Mexi Casual. Spark of Agility going to be picked up by Light Sky just for that additional speed boost. Hopefully also as a deny option for the Sparks. We did also see Riesel go down, meaning there are only 2 more Sparks in play.
Yeah, unfortunate Spark draft, kind of. There's only power and cooldown left. So Mexi could get 1 or 2, but it's going to have to drag it out. And Light Sky now, of course, has the ability to deny them without really any punishment. So it's kind of either team's gain here on the Sparks. That 1-2 punch on Cloak Oak could be pretty nice, though, potentially for Dave. But Dave, once again, got the extra special on the Imi, which is very, very nice. You want to have that. This being said, bringing out the turret right here on the defense. Vermilion does have the goal open, and they still have both barriers up. Nice little dash there from Cloak Oak to find the point. Sends it right through Dave. Vermilion will fire first, but even with their flashy points that they've been getting, it seems like Gex has just always been able to just consistently score the 3 in a row or 2 into 1 and take the sets, which is really what's important. So they're going to have to keep it up pretty well here. They will get 1 barrier here. Seraphim and Mexi, looks like they're trying to get it right back up to Cloak Oak. Does have the core flip up as well. Big energy advantage for the side of Vermilion. This being said, Spooked also brings down 1 barrier, looking for 2. The whiplash will secure it. Dave brings out the cannon just for some insurance, setting it up to Light Sky, dribbling, sending it to Spooked Altar. Perfect shot! Absolutely exposing the defenses of Seraphim Vermilion right through the middle. Gex fire right back once again with a goal of their own.
Gex are on the peak of their game today. We're going to have to see something come out of Vermilion. Some sort of change that really makes everything happen. And unfortunately, that change is not going to be the burst coming out from Seraphim, but it could be the burst coming out from Cloak Oak, able to KO Light Sky. Cat Cannon comes out, Spooked Altar hits it, Cannon gets the bumper, and we're going to have to see something come out here to get this bumper. But we're going to see Dave use the flip. Spooked Altar having their flip, using it now, getting the barrier, and here it is. Cloak Oak, Seraphim continuing the offensive. Dave able to get it up. There goes Spooked Altar. A little bit of vengeance coming up from Cloak Oak, frustrated with all these whiplashes coming out, saying, hey, listen, now it's my turn to get you out of here.
Yeah, and good patience by Mexi. Waited out that now primary, but Spooked Altar back online now as we're going to be approaching overtime pretty shortly here. Gex on the offensive here, pushing hard through this side. Spooked Altar with the hook brings it down. Sakeen there to block it, though. The cage comes out from Mexi. He's going to go wide, though. Back in the midfield once again. The battle over the dreaded midfield line in Oni Village as overtime hits. Mexi Casual on the goal line, able to save it out here, trying to get it back to Saikeen. Zeno coming out from Cloco's gonna go all the way around the red core up to Spooked Altar. Finds the shot into the top side. Mexi was too far down. Oh, and this is what I was talking about. Oni Village, when it hits that overtime, if you're the goalie and you're standing on the side you think the core is gonna be on and it goes to the other one, if you don't have a way of getting up there quickly, and you know, on Mako you kind of don't, it's just gonna go right in.
Yeah, definitely. I believe the Mako pick was used to help with the offensive plays, but it seems like what they need is just a little bit of help in the defense. Having that immobility on this map is just such a huge weakness, as you're unable to cover that added speed. On other maps, and especially on closed off maps, it's excellent, and it's definitely fine to pick Mako, and I do believe she's still strong on this map, but it's a vulnerable position that can be exploited, which we're seeing Spooked Altar do quite frequently. Speaking of exploiting, Cloak Oak able to sneak it just past Dave and poke it in. Set to 2-2, final goal of the set. This could be massive for Vermilion, depending.
Yeah, Light Sky and Dave were a little bit late on their strikes there. They weren't expecting that angle. So they did get a sneaky little goal there. This being said, Spooked Altar does have a core flip coming up, and so does Dave. Cyber swipes up and brings the barrier down, and now Spooked Altar with the core flip. This is not what you want. Pushing hard. Core flip on the goal line. The Mako primary is not enough. Gex takes set 2, and I think Spooked Altar is the MVP, but let's take a look. Yes, it is Spooked Altar MVP.
This is looking incredibly strong on the side of Gex, especially with these awakenings here. Explosive entrance being a strong contender here. Rasmus being able to use both sides of it. The added haste as well as the impact. We're definitely seeing that picked up here. Zentaro not really wanting it, only wanting one dash awakening. Gonna have a bit of a tough time deciding sides on the twin drive, as well as the sparks coming out from Mexi to fuel the spark of leadership. Hopefully that is enough on their side, but it's gonna be tough because on the side of Gex, that pickup of Siege Machine is gonna be huge. Dave, with the extra special, we're gonna be seeing massive cat cannons coming out here, and they've been lethal. They've been game determinative so far. Spooked Altar gonna try and get the core here, but Cloco able to keep up the offensive, but the core manages to find its way back, but not quite. Psyche interrupts it. Mexi able to not quite save that one bumper. Psyche not quite able to save the other. Both bumpers going down. Cloco finds one. Mexi able to find the core back up to the mid, and Spooked Altar getting blasted off the edge like Team Rocket. Mexi holding down the goal. Now's the chance for an offensive play, a flip in Cloak Oak's pocket. Are they going to be able to take this barrier?
Yeah, the power play still has a little bit more time, but Spooked Altar will be respawning here and looking for blood. Pushing up, that cat cannon goes across the entire map now as Dave drops it down. Cloak will be able to get the barrier here, though. Zeno comes out. Nice strike shot from Mexi to send it back in. Psykeen pushing hard. Dave sending up to the top. Cloak there to respond, but can't find the angle. Dave with the cyber swipe into glitch spot. Huge core flip comes out. Cloak dashed right into it and got KO'd into the goal box. Dave saves it. Passing down the Light Sky now. The cage comes out from Mexi. And trying to get it up over to Spooked Altar, the hook coming out, but Psykeen there to interrupt. Cloak is back online. Strike shot comes out, sends it back across the map. Psykeen with the dribbles and a core flip. Great shot into the top side. Seraphim Vermilion bring back that round after a very scary death there from Cloak. But yeah, Dave's build, if we think about it this for a second, this is eject button plus aerials, right, for that dash range. And then aerials plus Siege Machine for the projectile range. All of Dave's abilities like go across the map at this point.
Dave has an incredible build going on. It's going to be very hard to contend with, especially with a more immobile goalie like Mexi. And just like that, this is what we're talking about. Dave coming in from downtown, kicks it in, running away with the core. What can you do against that?
That's actually insane to look at. But this being said, Vermilion will get one barrier here. Looks like they're trying to go for two from this top side, but Dave looks like probably gonna be able to get it out of here. Light Sky pass up to Alter, but one barrier falls here. Light Sky dribbling it, sending it back up to the top cage. Comes out from Mexi to shut that down, though. Back in the hands of Vermilion. But Dave and Spooked Alter together, primaries and secondaries coming out, will secure that barrier. Cloco flip into dash to fire back with a barrier of his own, though, but it's still anyone's round as both goals open. Mexi does have a core flip up, though. Gonna try and send it back in, but Spooked Alter and Light Sky there respond. Core flip comes out. Spooked Alter waiting hard, able to get it past him, but it's right back in this top corner once again. Gex just keeps sending it back in there. Huge core flip from Zykean, kills Spooked Alter and flips it past Dave. Vermilion bring it to set point as they are desperately trying to claw this one back.
They are not giving up yet. That flip is definitely something that is going to be able to get the momentum. Almost self-goaling with that down pass and getting a quick double ding on Spooked Alter. This is going to be a tough one to fight. A flip coming up from Light Sky, but they're able to save it.
Save. Insane save from Zykean. Just struck the flip basically on the goal line here, but it's still going to be tough. Mexi pushing up a little bit. It's going to be kind of dangerous. This corner was really dangerous. Core flip comes out from Dave, tries to get a Spooked Alter, but Zykean holds it down, interrupts this pass here, and now looks like he's trying to get a barrier of his own, but it's like Dave with the glitch pop is going to save it. Bringing out the cat cannon here as well. Spooked Alter pushing hard with Light Sky in this top corner, and it will be enough pressure. Gex bringing it to match point, but Vermilion on set point. They have a chance to make the reverse sweep, but they need this to not go into bracket reset.
They are gonna be hard to be. Whoa, my brain is getting fried from the plays happening here. A quick double ding just like that. It is lethal for Vermilion here, but they are holding out hope. They are holding out for a hero till the end of the night here. And Cloco able to get that other barrier, the play that they've been hoping for. Passive down. Mexi flip available. Zykean able to force the core up. Here comes the force up. Cloco and a blast of flip. Trying to get the set. Yes!
Cloak Oak is the hero they were waiting for. He was there the whole time in the cloaking zone. Zen ult into core flip, the KO into point. Zykean, the MVP, will be rewarded with Monumentalist now. Absolutely massive here. There are some other nice things on this board, though. Looks like Dave, a little unsure what to take. Gonna go with the heavy impacts. Denies it against Cloak and Mexi here. Cloak going for that stagger swagger, trying to stay alive a bit, get a little bit more speed here as well. Unstoppable on the now. Not a bad pickup. Missile prop will go to Mexi, which is pretty nice. And Knife's Edge, though, on Spooked Alter. Could be pretty big on this map. Gonna allow a lot of mobility on those speed lanes.
Truth be told, I think the unstoppable pickup from now is huge here. Mexi very frequently getting put into hit stun during these goals. If Mexi was able to secure that...
What a cage! Oh, I didn't get the barrier.
Oh, that was
all the way from downtown. Mexi with the aerials almost... Aerials missile prop, actually, now on Mexi, and strike shot. Actually, whoa, yeah, Mexi's shooting far. Let's watch this primary go. Yeah, that goes pretty far. That's pretty good.
Both goalies are looking for cross-map plays.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, both goalies really looking for those cross-map plays. Spooked Alter able to get one barrier here. It is tied up, one barrier to one barrier. Zykean with the core flip in the pocket, though. In the midfield, will whiff it on the air. Unfortunately, Dave brings out the cannon to cut the field in half, but it's not going to matter as Vermilion in this bottom side just retaining control here. Light Sky looking to reverse that in this bottom side. Cloco tries to go for the dash, but core moving a bit too fast. Cage comes out from Mexi, but Alter able to evade and get out of there. Mexi goes for the core flip, but Light Sky blocks it and earns the barrier. And now a dangerous situation as Dave in this top side brings out the cat cannon in the glitch pop. Mexi able to get it out and pass the pendulum swing as well. The hook going to Spooked Alter. Oh no! Vermilion, they didn't strike! They didn't strike it! They intercepted the hook and they didn't strike it!
It appears Vermilion's curse has been lifted. Vermilion able to get the first goal every round, but not able to close it out. They closed out a set this time, and they didn't get the first goal. Maybe things are turning around. Maybe this is the reversal.
That is absolutely true, but it's a very dangerous situation when your opponent is on match point like this. Cloco will be able to get the barrier, but Dave flips for a barrier in return, and now Mexi having to play on the goal again. Oh, Spooked Alter yoinks it from Zykean, puts it right in the top pocket. They bring it to match point. Gex 1 point away from the bracket reset.
This is intense stuff. Vermilion's really going to be looking here for something. That is not a good scene for them. One barrier down, but able to get a pass, trading a barrier. Cloco able to take it up, get the other barrier. They're not giving up yet. They are not giving up hope. Psyche almost having flip here. Looking to make a play, gets flip, makes a kick, but Kaz's it. Now the core is in their half.
Yeah, tough angle there. I don't know if it was actually able to hit it regardless, but Cloco will find it though. Great Zen. Wait, hang on. Let me look at that. Yeah, glitch pop. Zenol is into now secondary. Hit it back up to him. That was an incredible play from Vermilion's forwards right there to score that. But they're going to need 2 more to close this one out. As Dave looking for this kickoff here. Cyber Stripes up. Core flip from Light Sky is going to bring down one barrier. Spooked Ultra off the rebound is going to get the second one. Same dangerous situation that they've been in all game. It's like he will bring down one barrier here. The cage comes off of Mexi, but Cloco flips it in the cage. Oh no, miscoordination there from Vermilion. The flip will get wasted and stalled out. The barrier does go down in the end though. And now Dave and Light Sky on the goal line. Spooked Ultra pushing up with the core flip though. Looking for this point, looking for the game. Core flip comes out from Mexi. Spooked Ultra go to the core flip, but Light Sky there to respond. Sends it back in. Gex takes game 2 and we are going to a bracket reset.
I don't know how many more of these games I could take. They are action-packed. We are seeing Gex throw absolutely insane team coordination. And the individual plays of Vermilion are going insane. Mexi Casual, despite being immobile on the map, able to hold up an iron wall. Cloco and Psyche able to coordinate, make some insane plays like that last goal that they got. Able to ult it into the now secondary to redirect it in an angle that Dave cannot save. Truly wonderful stuff, but they're going to need to see red. They're going to need to use that anger and motivation to push them through the bracket reset here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough for Vermilion to bring it back in this this bracket reset. Ooh. Yeah, because they have to win 2, right? Vermilion has to win 2, but Gex only has to win 1. Oh, never mind. I lied. Vermilion just has to win this. That's it. It's literally just a best of 1 now.
The playing field is completely even. This is anyone's game. We've seen the momentum being taken by Gex, but we also, knowing these individuals, Psyche, Mexi Casual, Cloco, we've seen them come back from worse. We've seen them come back from the impossible. So maybe this is Seraphim Vermilion's first chance to first time taking the win, or this could be Vongol of the Reigns hat trick on spec training. This is definitely an anime match of all time if I've ever seen one. Obviously, it had to go to the final game, best of 1 bracket reset.
Yeah, it's a game for all the marbles, and yeah, Vermilion looking a little bit battered and bruised coming off of those wins. They only took 1 set in each of those games, so kind of rough, but they were very close on some of them. They were very close for some of them. Oh, it's gonna be rough, but they have the chance to it's just 1 game, just win 1 game, and just take it home, you know. But that being said, I think Spooked Altar has also won 2 Seraphim Specialized in the past. It's been at least 1. I think it was 2 previously, but I know it was at least 1. So either way, we're going to be having multiple recurring champions should this go the side of Gex. But with the way they've been playing, I could easily see that happening. It looks like the map, I think, is still being decided, and I think Light Sky's been subbed out for Mongola once again, potentially. So
Mongola very clearly just did not want to play on Oni. Said, listen, I would rather anyone else but play on Oni again. And can you blame them? I can only handle so many Oni games in a day. If you took Oni like 3 times, I'd be like, no, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, not a fan of that map particularly, but some people like it regardless. But yeah, I think we're just waiting on whatever map decision to come out for this. But yeah, this has been a pretty incredible series so far. I'm very excited to see what they end up going with here we've seen some pretty stellar picks. Spooked Altar has been on this Rasmus both times and just absolutely cooked on it as well. Just finding the defense, just finding the weaknesses in the defense, just exploiting those little gaps in the armor of Seraphim Vermilion, finding the shots. That being said, Cloak kind of went to town with the Zentaro there. That's some pretty insane goals, but it wasn't enough. It just wasn't quite enough. And it's kind of hard to tell exactly what went wrong. It's kind of just a combination of like Spooked Altar was able to get it through the Mako a lot easier than Vermilion was able to get it through Dave on the IME.
Notably in chat, Spooked Altar says, I'm not hearing enough talking about IME goalie.
Oh, that's true.
Altar, I don't know if you've been hearing this the whole set. The games I've been commentating, I've been doing nothing but gassing up Dave because I'm not a real IME believer. I've recently started playing IME just as a fun thing to do, but Dave's glitch pops, Dave's cyber swipes, and I think the thing that I need to shout out the most, Dave's ability to use the draft is insane. I've never personally seen Dave play, but after this, I'm a huge Dave believer. Dave is busting up this format and being the iron wall and able to keep the core up and make pressure from anywhere.
Yeah, Dave's been pretty crazy. And yeah, IME goalie is not normally a staple of Oni Village, but he made it work. And with the pretty insane build that he had, he was literally able, the cat cannon literally went from one side of the map to the other. The glitch pops and the cyber swipes covered almost the entire map as well. He had basically global presence to apply offense and be on the defense, just be everywhere at once. It's been pretty crazy. Just Dave absolutely cooking on the cat here. But it looks like a map has been selected. Looks like we're going back to the lab again on Atlas's lab for our final match.
I gotta say, if I'm Vermilion here, I think I actually ban out the IME. I don't believe IME is incredibly strong on on lab. I could be incorrect as I don't focus on eject button goalies when I have to off roll in the goal. But Dave's ability to just completely dominate the field and feed alter the core, make sure Vongola or Light Sky are able to control the core as well by backing them up, and these incredibly placed cat cannons. I think genuinely you ban out the goalie here, force Dave to play something else, and hope that they're not as cracked on, say, Dubu as they are with the IME.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like you either ban out something from like Alter or you ban out the goalie. But I think with what we just saw, you might have to ban out the goalie. It's one of those things where like you get to a certain skill level and you just can't really, like, one ban just isn't enough because they'll just play something else. But I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, Dave could very well have another goalie in the back pocket, but it looks like it's going to be a Rasmus ban. They will be banning out Spooked Altar's Rasmus here. And an Asher ban here as well against Vermilion. It's kind of an interesting ban. The only one who really plays Asher is Cloak, and he doesn't even do it that much. I think he's more comfortable in Centauro in general, so it's an interesting ban coming out, but I mean, they've been winning, so if it isn't broken, don't fix it. This will be a very similar comp to the first one, Atlas, Drakkar, Centauro.
We've received the word from Alter in the chat that it's cast to last unstoppable start, which is why we're seeing an Octavia pick here. And truthfully, I think maybe that does mean that the Rasmus ban was wrong, because with CTL start, Spooked Altar very well may have just gone cast to last beginning anyways. And Dave having his best striker available right here, and one that we've proven is insane.
Yeah, I think they definitely won out a bit with these starting awakenings. Castelas has been nerfed a bit, so it's not like as insane, but he's still very good starter. Spooked Altar just gets like one speed awakening. He's just gonna be absolutely cooking on this Octavia. This being said, I'll point out Cloak Oak and Mexi took Unstoppable. Everyone else on Castellas, obviously, the people who could take it. But with one barrier to one barrier, Sykene's taking a lot of damage. Will get healed as Cloak brings down a second barrier here. Defense coming out from the side of Gex here as Mexi is pushed up to the midfield to assist in the pressure coming out. No goals scored so far. Sykene sending it up to the top, looking to fight Spooked Altar here. Great save by Mexi with the strike shot to beat out the Octavia primary, and the barrier will still stand here as energy coming online as we're about to go into overtime as well. Cloak Oak with the Zen ult, not going to get too much here. Corflip from Mexi gonna get stalled out and hit with the Octavia primary. Corflip pass up to Spooked Altar, but sent back to Cloak, who goes for the shot with the Corflip, but it's blocked by Dave. And now Dave is the one with the Corflip. Cloak Oak dribbling on the top side, trying to wait out this cat cannon. Goes for the dash, but Dave Corflips it out of there. Cyber Stripes coming out here as well, keeping it in this midfield, trying to send it down to Spooked Altar, looking for a chance to score Vongola of the Rain in the midfield, sending it back up. Mexi with the secondary, trying to keep it out of this goal and get it back into the hands of Sykene. Dave dribbling on his own goal line. Well, not on the goal line, in their own goal box. Cloak Oak with the Zen ult. Doesn't find anything as Spooked Altar is pretty hurt over in the backfield, but Dave with a great save against Cloak Oak. No points scored here today, but one gonna look like he's gonna go for it again, but he cashed it.
What?
No, he cashed it, and then Vongola gets it, and then Dave scores it. Ain't no way. No. Gex get the first point. Not like this. I don't like the story that this is going to tell.
I mean, with every victory comes a loss, and somebody's gonna have to take it here today. That being said, both teams playing very well. Unfortunately, it seems like the time of night is catching up with Vermilion, but the time catching up with Spooked Altar, about to revive as well. One ding on the side of Vermilion means they still have a barrier here, and things are looking well on the side of Vermilion here, with Cloak Oak approaching with a flip, Sykene about to get theirs, and Vongola looking almost killed. There goes.
Nice little passive there from Cloak. Did burn the flip, but it didn't matter because he's gonna get the point anyway, and they still got some energy up on their other members. Dave, the only one with the core flip. Over on the side of Gex, but still keeping it pretty tied up in these early sets like we've been seeing. Gex have been able to bring it back pretty decisively in the later stages of the match, though. In the last two games, Spooked Altar able to get a barrier here. We'll burn the Octavia ult for it, but no big deal. Sykene does whiff the core flip, though, so that could potentially be pretty big, and Spooked Altar getting that energy up here as well, only a few strikes away from earning it. So Gex could be looking to make something happen once they get it out of this pocket. It looks like they will with the black hole popped, a little bit more space freed up on the map now. Sykene, though, with the shotgun, gonna be sending it back into this bottom corner, looking for this bottom barrier, or this top barrier here. Vongola of the Rain in the midfield, though, able to be on that defense and interrupt those passes. Dave will find the clear out. Now dribbling, Cyber Swipes up, Dave, core flip coming out from Spooked Altar, pushing in hard with the Octavia, but Mexi casual able to get it out of there. I think Sykene core flip for that to save that one, and now core flip coming out from Vongola of the Rain. Not going to get too much off of that, though. Vongola dribbling, but Spooked Altar finds the KO onto Sykene. 2v3 now, and Dave still has the core flip up in this overtime. Dave sending it up down to Spooked Altar now. Oh, he's around the back of the barrier, though. The lucky Atlas Lab angle will keep Vermilion's barrier up for now, but they still need to find a way to bring down Gex's own barrier. But Spooked Altar still down in this bottom pocket. It's just been going back and forth here. Neither team can get a really convincing offense going.
That's it right now. Just with such the low power levels due to the starting awakenings, things are sort of slowing down a bit. But I do believe after this first draft, when it inevitably happens, things are really going to pick up steam here. That being said, picking up steam, Red Core coming up from Mexi Casual takes the bumper. Sykene, Cloak Oak able to keep the core up using the black hole to keep their pressure applied. Mexi Casual walking up, drops an expanse, but doesn't quite secure it through the midfield. Now it's in their half. Vongola of the Rain looking for a flip here. Uses the flip, gets the bumper. Sykene and Cloak Oak kind of stand on each other here. Mexi Casual passes it. Sykene passes it to Cloak Oak, but intercept by Spooked Altar. And the flow state is coming up.
Next is the one with the core flip, but Spooked Altar with the Octavio is going to bring down Cloak Oak and flip it right into the bottom side. Gex bring it to set point here.
Cloak Oak unfortunately getting their hand crushed by a mallet by Spooked Altar's special. Mexi Casual having their flip here, gonna have a bit more defensive ability, or possibly offensive, depending on how this match goes. Around the back, gets the top bumper, but the bottom bumper is gonna stay safe for them.
And Spooked Ultra taking a lot of damage here. Cloak bringing out the Zen ult, but the now ult coming out from Vongolo of the Ring and heals Spooked Ultra right back up, so it'll be fine for now. A battle over the midfield though, as Gex doesn't quite have as much like crazy stuffing power as they did last time, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to bring down these barriers as quickly as they previously were. Vermilion has a bit more of a defense oriented with Sykin on that Drek and Mexi on the Atlas here. They're going to be able to deflect a lot more stuff and hopefully hold out for a bit longer, so they're kind of playing the long game here. But Cloco, big KO onto Spooked Altar in that top corner. It's going to make Dave push up into the midfield, bring out the cannon. No barriers will be going down, but it does buy valuable time for Spooked Ultra to respawn. Core flip from Vongolo of the Rain, once again just buying time here, as now the full team of Gex is back alive going into this overtime. Dave gonna whiff the core flip here, so that's pretty big. Cloco in this top side still has a core flip of his own, so Sykin just needs to get it up to him, but Vongolo and Spooked Ultra just are everywhere at once. They're just running around this map being where they need to be. Now back in the hands of Cloco, but Vongolo once again just getting it out of there, and it's just pass interrupt from pass interrupt and intercept to intercept here as we go back and forth. The cat cannon does come out from Dave, but Mexi still holds it down. Now primary comes out, but not good enough angle as the ping pong game continues in the bottom side. Spooked Altar versus Vermilion. Spooked Altar will eventually win that as the barrier comes down, and now they are looking to score. Spooked Altar bringing it into the top side, going for the bottom angle. Sykin able to block it here though. And now Vongolo of the Rain sending it right back up. But once again, Vermilion needs to get an offense going of their own. Cloco goes for the Zen primary, but Dave with the glitch pop gets it out of there. And now Zen ult going in around the back of the barrier, but it whiffs around the backside. Unfortunate. Core flip from Mexi to send it back in, but it just puts it back in the hands of Gex. Spooked Altar backwards dribble off the center barrier to try and just buy a little bit of time. Core flip from Vongola is blocked by Cloak Oak's primary. Sykin with the special, sending it up back into the pocket, but Vongolo of the Rain with a pass up to Spooked Altar is going to win the trade against Mexi. And that's going to be Gex taking the set. Pass, Sykin says.
This could be the set that determines it all. There were a few key awakenings here that if they show up could simply seal the deal. Chrono Boost namely being one of them, showing up with Spooked Altar being first. We're seeing the IME jams in the background as Altar knows that most likely the fate is sealed. Castellast, Chrono Boost, Octavia, Altar's gonna have global presence. Mexi Casual picking up Spark of Victory, but we're not quite sure it's gonna live up to the name with how this draft is panned out. So many good awakenings pop up here, but unfortunately Gex having the momentum and having the awakenings on Altar could very well seal fate. This may well be the hat trick for Vongola in Spooked Altar.
Yeah, it's looking like it. That was a very strong draft in the favor of Gex here. That spark of winning is only gonna really come in handy at this point if they manage to bring it out to a set 5 or set 4 or something. But with the way these games have been going, it doesn't seem like they'll be able to get there. They kind of have to win right now or lose forever, as the offense is already pushing hard. Both barriers are down, and Dave is just able to keep sending it back in. Cloak will find one barrier here off of a kind of a far midfield shot. They will get some bit of offense going here, but that second barrier, it still remains elusive to them. Cloco can't even get it with the Zen ult here. Is now back in the hands of Gex. Core flip from Vongolo of the Rain is blocked though by Vermilion as Cloco with a core flip of his own, but Dave right there with the strikes as always to keep it held down. And Spooked Altar with the primary trade sends it through Mexi, and Gex continue their warpath of scoring.
This is looking grim for Vermilion, but things have never looked brighter for Gex. If you're a Gex fan right now, you are laughing, you are smiling because things are going well. That being said, a bumper being taken on their side. Sykin flips, but Vongola able to stop it. Cloco applying pressure, gets the bumper. Sykin, unfortunately, the core manages to find its way to Spooked Altar with a flip. Special comes out. Altar's gaining flow state with a flip there, but loses. Oh, they don't lose their flow state. The magic pixel saves them once again.
Yeah, and Ultra now just dribbling in this top side, taking a lot of damage, but Dave gonna be able to send it right back in. The flow state will go down here though. It's Sykeem and Cloak on the offense now. Cloak finding the big kill onto Ultra. This is their chance. It's kind of now or never with that speedy Octavia dead to find a point, get out of that that situation of being constantly smothered. But Gex is going to be able to stall it out. Spooked Ultra is going to come back online here and get back up in this midfield, activate the flow state, and start it all over again. Brings out the special as well. Core flip from Mexi to try and save it. Sends it around. Core flip from Cloak. Finds it into the bottom corner. Great play from Vermilion. But they need more than this. This is the pattern that we've seen. Gex takes the set. Vermilion does a big flashy play, but then Gex takes the set anyway. So we need to see a little more consistency coming out if they have a shot at winning this. And I imagine they're tired. I certainly am. They're on that new time zone here as well, playing it from Arizona. The ping diff has been wild for both teams, all teams tonight, really, because the central server issues. So it's been a bit of a scuffed one for sure. But this being said, Gex have been playing their absolute hearts out. And they've really been showing up with Mongola getting a score there like that as well, bringing it to another set point. This is very much looking like Gex have a big lead here.
An absolutely massive lead, if you will. Spooked Altar is going to use the secondary here, but the core is going to find its way to Sykeem, who's able to shotgun it and find a barrier. But a free barrier on the side of Gex comes out as well, evening it out. Spooked Altar and Vongola moving up, but it just barely slips past them. Dave passing it to Vongola, but Sykeem and Mexi able to clear it out. The primary of Mexi coming out, and Sykeem pushes up. A shotgun comes out, but just an unfortunate angle doesn't tap the barrier. Speaking of unfortunate arrows, just barely misses the Dorito, and Mexi has an absolutely baller save, and a baller save comes out from Dave, getting it right out around and back into the enemy half once more.
That's pretty much just baller save from baller save. That being said, Cloak with a baller play, the core flip into dash into primary to secure the barrier. Spooked Altar firing back with a barrier of his own though. Both sides opened up. Spooked Altar in this flow state, but Mexi has a core flip up just in case. As being said, we're entering overtime and energy's coming up for the side of Gex as well. Bungle over the rain with the core flip up here. Battle over midfield. Dave sending it back in. Spooked Altar's core flip online now. Burning it here. Sending it under the top bumper. Dribbling it down to Vongola. Core flips it, but Mexi catches it with his core flip. Sends it to Cloak.
Wow.
And primary into Dave. Dave cleared it up and Cloak called him out with the passive.
That was
absolutely insane.
A huge read. That is something that is going to reset the momentum in the favor of Vermilion, hopefully. Maybe they can keep this up. Maybe they can get it going. It is not over yet. Spooked Altar making their best attempt to make sure it is over. Able to get a barrier, able to get a Cloak Oak. And Sykeem's going to find a barrier using the Swirly Durly in the middle.
Yeah, but it's still going to be tough here. There's 2v3 now. Gex has a big advantage potentially. Sykeem and Mexi just looking to stall. Cloak Oak will come back online here, but the core still in the hands of this Octavia. Cloak Oak able to push it through though. Able to pick up this barrier as Spooked Altar's taking a lot of damage here as well. Sykeem in this bottom pocket has a core flip up, keeping the offense going. Flips it here, but it gets blocked. Trying to send it in, but Gex able to clear it back out. Spooked Altar dribbles it with the primary, sending it onto the top side. Runs up there to respond to it. He's a little bit out of his hands, but Dave sends it right back. Pass. Core flip from Spooked Altar is blocked once again. The barrier will still stand. Mexi finds the clear. Dave with a core flip up. It's on the defense now. Vongola able to fall back and help a bit here. Help not let Cloak touch the core, as that seems to be the win condition for Vermilion. Sykeem though sending it back over, but Dave sending it right back off to Spooked Altar, but Mexi back down, and it's just going around in a circle in this midfield side. Cloak Oak with the core flip up, but it's Vongola who burns it first into Mexi's core flip, sends it all the way back around, and Dave with the glitch pop doesn't even have to use a core flip in this this trade going on here. Cloak Oak burning a core flip here, can't get it through Spooked Altar though. Maybe got a little bit impatient with that one, as Dave's gonna be able to send it back up to Vongola over the rain. Mexi keeping it out of this top corner though, as the defense is just too strong for both sides right now. Spooked Altar is very hurt. Cloak Oak will pick up the kill with the primary, looking for the dash into the top pocket, but Dave with the core flip will save it. 2v3 still though. Cloak passing or Sykeem passing up to Cloak, doesn't find it there, going for it again. Vongola blocks it the second time, and Spooked Altar back online. Dave pushes up Not gonna find anything, but Spook Ultra is back in this midfield, has the flow state up. It's gonna run out though, goes for the barrier, but Mexi with the strike shot is able to save it. We're so deep in overtime right now. Neither team can find the points that they're looking for. The pressure just isn't there, but with Sykeem passing it up to Cloak, still not going to be enough. Cloak looking for another kill on to Spooked Ultra. Will find it with the little combo there. Is this going to finally be enough to let them score? Sykeem pushing up from this bottom side. No, it's still not enough. Passing over to Cloak with the primary into passive. Great little mix up there from Cloak. Oh my goodness. Vermilion will bring the set back. And Cloak the MVP.
It is neck and neck right now. Despite having such an amazing draft in the first half, Vermilion's been able to overcome it. That being said, I believe Gex are going to be able to turn it around. These drafts are massive. We've seen what Siege Machine does with Dave. That being said, opting for the missile prop, very clearly preferring the range and the ability to make plays from across the map, which allows Mexi to pick up Siege Machine. A very strong awakening for both of these strikers. Spooked Altar, just as a cherry on top, able to get the recovery drone. Now for those few times that they've been knocked off the map, able to fully recover. Things are still looking Gex-sided in my opinion.
Yeah, it's it's tough to say because it's felt like it could go either way, this entire series. But Gex have just still proven that they seem like the better team, even though it feels like Vermilion should be on paper. That is a nice recovery drone pickup from Spooked Altar, but Cloak did get like 3 kills in that last round alone. So if he can keep that up, it could be pretty solid. They will get one barrier here. Mexi looking to get it back up. Mongola does have a core flip up though. The barrier will fall off the bounce off the black hole, and now Cloak in a position to potentially score, but back in the hands of Spooked Altar with the primary. Sends it through the Atlas secondary. I think Mexi was just like frames too late on that one. Oh, Gex will take the first point in the set as energy kind of up for both teams here.
This really is neck and neck so far. And the special is going to come from Spooked Altar, but it's not going to find anything. Vermilion's going to be able to find a bumper. Spooked Altar tries to get a bumper in retaliation, unable to find it, but finds the top one finally. Flip comes out from Mexi. Dave able to defend like the iron wall that this cat is. Able to kick it up top. Speaking of getting kicked, Altar reset back to neutral. Holy. Yeah.
Still stagger though. That recovery drone going down there is actually pretty big for Vermilion because it means they don't have to waste abilities trying to do it, I guess. But unfortunately, they weren't able to pick up the kill off of the recovery. But still, well, there we are. Knocked him into the black hole once again, and that'll be enough. Dave does have a core flip up though, but they've been finding ways to kill Altar. And it's been enough, but that being said, Dave cyber swipes up, core flip right in, Mexi! A little bit of brain lag.
Insane. Dave is cracked. Dave is crazy. We needed to ban the cat. They needed it. They needed it out of here. The cat remained, and the cat is going to stay a problem, knocking cores off the shelf into goals.
Ain't no way. Dave just absolutely disrespected Mexi on that one. Just casually flipped it in. A little bit late on the reaction as well, and now with both barriers down. Oh, Spooked Altar wins the strike war. What? Gex, Vermilion just played their hearts out to bring back a set for the ages, and then Gex just walks in with like a 2-minute long 3-0. What?
Absolutely.
Oh no!
Crazy. This is looking like a one match. Dave being able to get team player, Atlas grabbing twin drive, a very strong awakening, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be able to do it. Another dash awakening on Spooked Altar, this time with added projectile range. Another draft that seems to be favoring Gex. That being said, rapid fire going to the direct is gonna be huge. Having more of those shotguns, more strike war auto wins is going to be crazy, as well as we've been able to see Sykeem's ability to control the field from half a mile away with the pellets.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty nice for this direct, but one barrier down here, one barrier actually being traded now as we approach the late hours of the night. We're rolling into this 2 a.m. the 2 a.m. Friday time slot for these finals here. It is 1-1 on the side of barriers. Boots also taking a lot of damage. Still has the recovery drone up though. but both midfielders earning a lot of energy down in this bottom side, just kind of ping-ponging it back and forth, trying to find an angle as the forwards kind of fighting each other. Alter trying to play his life a little bit. Cloco looking for a chance to get rid of that res. Core flip does come out here, but not much going to be able to gain. That being said, Dave with the cat cannon will be enough pressure to bring down the barrier. Core flip from Sykeem is blocked by another great glitch pop from Dave, and a great strike work against the Drakkar projectile as well from Dave to keep that barrier up. Striper Stripes up, tries to go for the core flip. It won't make it in, but it'll get it down to Spooked Alter, who will be able to stuff it in, but actually it's Vongola who will find the get credit for the goal there. Send it in as Gex 1 point closer to taking another W and becoming basically a dynasty.
Holy flip Kona from Cloak Oak. Dave able to just save it. That's why they call him Insane Save Dave. A barrier, however, getting taken. Sykeem trying to ramp up the pressure here. Cat Cannon comes out. And it's just staying in their half. Cloak Oak says no, not this time. A whiff strike from Sykeem is going to help it walk a little backwards, but applying a little bit extra pressure, they're able to get that other bumper. Cloak Oak had to use the passive there to get the core up and doesn't have to make a play right now. Vongola having flipped, but Mexi does as well. Barrier getting taken. Mexi flips it and clears it out.
Vongola still has this flip up as well, and Spooked Alter, of course, still has the recovery drone. Has not been KO'd yet this set or last set at all. And with the strike war there, Spooked Alter will bring down that barrier. The cat cannon comes out from Dave, and Vongola teleporting up brings out the flip. Mexi will block that one. And now Dave with the Cyber Stripes in the midfield, passing it over to Spooked Alter, who has the core flip up now in flow state, and the bottom side core flips at Mexi with the block though, but off the rebound, Spooked Alter runs all the way up and flicks it down past Sykeem. Gex bring it to match point, and it's for all the marbles. One more goal, and that's it.
How weak is Octavia? Chrono Boost, Aerials, Castellast. Spooked Alter has global presence as long as they're able to stack their flow state just a little bit. They don't even need a lot. Maybe 1 or 2 redirects, and they're finally just going warp speed, maximum overdrive. Watch, look at how fast Alter's able to control the core. Clear it top, not able to. Get a quick double ding.
Oh no.
Just like that. Here it's coming. Vongola, Alter, able to run light years away. Able to be wherever the core is needed.
Dave Cyber Stripes out. Look at the goal box. Mexi can't block it. That's Gex taking the bracket reset at the tournament. The Seraphim Specialized Trading 9 champions, Gex and Vongola of the Rain, 3-time winner. And I think a dynasty just may have been born tonight.
My goodness, we now have some reigning champions all right. And I gotta say, if I were to pin the MVP tag on anyone, it is going to Dave. I've seen nothing but outstanding gameplay from Dave. Being able to keep up redirects with a turbo best in slot, giga boosted, turbo omega great Octavia, just being able to have that much pressure and have that much range. They've been able to put out so much. It's insane.
I was absolutely saying, and of course, Spooked Alter and Vongola of the Rain definitely carried their weight in those games for sure. The whole team really was just playing at peak performance all of tonight. You know, despite getting set to the losers bracket. But yeah, yeah, I mean, not much else to say. I mean, we let the replay speak for themselves, really. You know, we were all watching the same games. They absolutely showed up tonight and played their hearts out. So GG's to Gex.
That being said, I also want to point out exactly what Marissa in chat's been pointing out. Mexi's defense, absolute iron wall. Making saves I didn't think anyone could save. Being able to put up that defense and being able to give Sykeem and Cloak Oak such a great chance to play the game. Unfortunately, having an Octavia, a Now, and occasionally just because they feel like it, and I mean in your face, what are you going to do with so many hitboxes getting thrown at you and with only so many secondaries you're able to push out? It's
real.
Just so well played by Mexi. Yeah. Definitely earns my MVP on their side as well. These goalies were extraordinary in their defense. Almost
Yeah.
every goal made it to overtime, despite the amount of pressure that like 20 gabillion Dash Awakening Octavia is able to put out.
Yeah, there's just too few many mistakes on the side of Vermilion. A few too late reactions, a few mispositionings as well on that defensive side. A few Kazas on the that offense as well. They just weren't quite all in sync, and I mean they're playing from different states here as well. So I'm sure that had a bit to do with it, but yeah, overall it was solid from both teams. They had a very solid run. They did well, but yeah, Gex has just proven to be the Seraphim strong boys.
We're going to be looking at some tough games.
Oh yeah, but
next week.
I will point out we're actually doing a quick winners interview with Gex. So here they are now. Hello, welcome.
Hello. We're waiting for
Welcome.
Bangala and Light Sky to come over.
All right, very
And this
cool.
Julok.
Julok's also
Julok.
getting in here.
Well, let's be real.
No,
Julok
no,
is
no,
a
he's
sub
not.
for like every team at this point. I
I feel
think.
like it's not a sub on our team.
That's what I was thinking. I was just making sure that man is not allowed to compete here. Pretty sure he's beaten the rank requirement.
Regardless, yeah, you guys basically just formed a dynasty tonight. So how does that feel?
Feels pretty good. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I got called by Dave at like literally 4 a.m. and it's
Dude,
like,
hey,
"Who
Bangla
wants
DM me
to
at 2
play?
a.m.
Do you want to play in Seraphim with us?" And I went, "Who?" And he went, "Bangala." And I go, "Oh, that's cool." And then here we are.
And here you are in the winner's interview, just like that. Truly insane the amount of synergy you folk were able to put up here. Dave, I'm not gonna lie, I've got a question for you. Have you competed in Seraphim Specialized Training before? I feel like I haven't seen you around.
I have once, but not like an actual team. It's like made really scrambly.
So, for background on Dave, I found this guy in the OS General in a VC, and I saw him in a custom, and I was like, this guy's really good. And then he was like a nobody, and he was no rank. So I was like, this guy needs to get in tournaments now. And so I put him in my draft league for the West Coast.
And it
This
just so
awesome.
happens. Sorry, it just so happens that this team is basically comprised of the draft league, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
this is the
draft
Westy Draft League.
Minus Gumi.
Oh my,
We can't participate.
listen,
Yeah.
that is, if I gotta put my bets on a Westy Draft League after seeing today's showing, it's going to you folk. This has been domination. Just amazing plays from all of you all around.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised they didn't ban my Rasmus out sooner, because I saw that we put in Light Sky for the Oni Village game. That way we had more like options, and then they didn't. We saw the Kai ban, and I was like, oh,
Yeah, it's
Okay.
so chill.
I was ready to get banned out.
Don't let this guy play Julie.
It's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
They'll
I had a
see
really
my
bad feeling
300.
earlier.
Yeah,
They'll see my
I'm-
400 Kai games. It's so chill. They'll ban that out in Oni Village anytime. Trust.
It's wild. I am curious though. We were talking about like, what if they did end up banning the IME? Like, Dave, what would you play if
Oh, I'm
IME got
actually a
banned?
Finny goalie main.
Oh,
Ultra just doesn't
no
let me play
way.
Finny goalie.
That ain't no
No.
way.
You're
I was
telling
playing my
me-
secondary the
The
entire
way he
time.
plays Vinny is so like it's so not what you would expect because he.
Hey,
plays
I
it in
might be the best
defensive way,
defensive Finny
but he does
goalie.
0 damage. Like he is the only Finny I see end the game with less than like 40k damage. He has like 12.
I have more
really
redirects though.
Crazy.
If it were anyone else, I wouldn't believe it. I'd say you're fibbing, I'd say you're lying. But if this is your secondary, there's training weights on you, Dave. Take that off. Play your Finny. Show us what you can do. If this is you when you're playing just like what you kind of play, I cannot fathom what your Finny is capable of. With the tools that you use and how you're able to use your glitch bops, use your cyber swipes, being able to see what you're able to do with your triple takes, your card, your big finish, I gotta see that.
You might see some self goals, but you know, we're still
Well, that's
gonna play.
Finny. That's just Finny stuff. Come on, you get a few of those for free.
That is
that's
true.
just Finny experience for real. But you guys think you're gonna be back next time?
Bongala, I'm
Bongala
pretty
won't be
sure,
back.
is
I will
heading
not.
to the Omega Stratosphere, someplace I will
Uh-huh.
never go because I love you
I
guys
will-
too much.
I will now get the
Salutes.
last 2 LP that I need.
And I'm
like,
camping
right now.
challenger until they announce rank reset.
Understandable.
Understandable.
I just hate ranked, so I'll never rank up. So if anyone wants to team with me, just send a DM and I will groggily
Yeah, this guy
answer.
doesn't care about his rank.
Honestly,
Oh,
so true. I also gave up. I'm not going. I'm not going to Omegas. Tried enough times. I don't. Whatever, guys. It is time
that
for my
is-
final 2 LP.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're
It's
2
a
up.
final
yeah.
two.
2 LP. Yeah.
It's absolutely great that you guys were able to do this one last one and claim the 3-time title. Alter, this is your 3rd, right? As well.
This is my 2nd win.
Okay,
The
it's
other
your
one
2nd.
I played, I was goalie, and we got to like.
That's right. That's right. I
Finals.
remember that.
But like, I apologize to everyone who was in that game and watching, because like my goalie is so bad. It's so bad. There's a reason I'm a
I
forward
remember.
player.
Yeah, but you guys get pretty cool titles tonight for this win. It was definitely a pretty insane one. It ran super late, but it was kind of worth it. Some of those games were pretty
shout out-
banger.
I gotta shout out Mexi Casual. Oh my god, that guy is holding it down. Like at first,
That
I
one
was doing
3-minute
the
point
average-
was like
I was
so
doing the
bad.
average gamer thing of being like, oh, I just need one more. I just need one more. And I was like, okay, this guy's just clearing really well, and I'm upset that he's playing good.
I gotta.
He's so good.
I do have to shout it out as I try my best to avoid caster bias as somebody who is allowed to scrim with and has the pleasure of scrimming with Seraphim Vermilion occasionally. Being able to see the absolute insane saves that Mexi just casually pumps out. No word, no popping off. He'll just strike shot your almost guaranteed goal in and be like, oh, whatever. Just a casual Monday for him.
That
He's
strike shot
crazy.
is so oppressive.
It's so
Very good,
oppressive.
That's the Mexi difference.
That is
That is the Mexi difference
the
right
Mexi
there.
effect, if you will. Able to just keep so much pressure away with such a simple tool that you only get every 11 seconds, and being able to abuse the primary. I find his ability to use Atlas primary goes crazy, and I think it's a very important skill to be able to recognize the skill of your competitors. So having you be able to shout out Mexi and his ability and also defend him in the chat. I've been trying so hard not to have a caster bias because these are my homeboys. I hang out with them most days. So being able to like have somebody else be like, hey, you gotta shout out Mexi. That man's fire. I'm like, yes, give me the excuse. Yes.
All you need is one reason.
All I need is one reason to go off for hours about how great my homeboys are. But that's not saying anything about you folks. You clearly you guys beat them. So you four. I defied y'all for a minute.
only
Played
2.
so in sync that you guys combined 2 into 1. Crazy gameplay tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congrats on the win. Congrats on the legendary status. This will go down in history as one of the greatest mid-elo tournament dynasty that lasted one night in all of Omega Strikers, to be sure. So thank you for coming in, playing tonight, and coming in for the interview. It was great to have you, but probably about time that we start wrapping up. Also, yeah, I forgot to say GG's to Vermilion as well. I said that earlier, but I'll say it again. GG's to Vermilion as well. GG's to all the teams that played tonight. Thank you all for coming out and playing, but we are going to be wrapping it up. It is quite late, and it is time to get that much needed rest. So thank you for dropping in, but this is where we shall part ways briefly.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.